Hello everyone, welcome back to Dungeon Delvers, the stream of geeky people where we like to sit around and play Dungeons and Dragons, or in some cases we like to delve into Dungeons and Dragons. I don't know where this intro is. I mean, I'm working on it, it's getting there. We've had a little bit of a break. Have you noticed the new layout? Everything is amazing. Woo! We have snow, we have squares, we have Ollie in a hat.
We have everything.
We had everything. We've got Jackal with his still same picture, which is still cool.
No fucking fun.
He's at the end of the campaign. You may find out who it is, but you probably won't. So it's fine.
We'll wait and see. Might be a thing.
We obviously welcome everyone back to the stream. It's been a while for us. It's been roughly in real time about over a month, so we're going to do the best obviously what we can with this session, but we aim to obviously bring you back the regular recordings as per usual. Just real life stuff obviously gets in the way sometimes, and yeah, we have to go with the times, which is cool. Obviously we appreciate all the likes, follows and subscribes obviously on all the channels. We do have obviously the channels at the bottom of the screen if you guys want to go and follow the Dungeon Delvers on Instagram with a Z, and Dungeon Delvers on YouTube. Go and give us a like, go and give us a ping, get some notifications, so obviously make sure you can keep up with the adventure from where we're letting off now, so obviously from now on. Again, if you guys don't know what the hell's going on and you're like, who are these guys, go back on the channel and have a look at what we've done, because that's what we've done. All right, so we'll go back on about 6 or 7 episodes before, probably a bit more. What episode are we on? I think it's like 17. There you go. So we started at 6 right. on YouTube. So yeah, you got a lot of catching up to do if you're new. Either way, we're happy to be back and we're ready to start. I want the whole party to roll a d20, please.
Oh, okay.
Let's get this started. I don't know why I'm doing Northern. I'm sorry if you're Northern. I'm not. This is just a voice that's coming out. Probably too much coffee. So if I go Northern, because I'm not Northern. Does everybody want to shout out their rolls? Make sure obviously everyone's.
Oh yeah.
17.
18.
13.
Okay, who got the highest?
Me.
Okay. So what we're going to do every session from now on, what we're going to do is, and there might be rewards because of this in game, who knows. Sentry, I want you to give me a first person account of the last episode of what Sentry saw. If Sentry was knocked out or asleep at a particular time, that's Sentry fine. I will fill the party in, but I will give the overview of last episode, but I want to hear it from your point of view, and then we'll catch the audience up.
Alrighty.
Well, and I want you to do it in your voice as well.
Oh, what?
Say first person. You can't speak like Luke.
Yeah, trying to get into Central Voice, isn't it? Wow. Okay. From the start of last session, yeah.
Yeah. So from the beginning of last session to where you are now, in a kind of like a biography, autobiography.
Well. Okay, yeah, kind of not go 2 sessions back and keep on 1. On the last session, we ventured from the Dwarven village, where traversing the cold landscape, found the oh shit, I forget his name.
I love how I'm testing everyone now. This is great.
Yeah, man.
Especially
I mean,
there will be a test.
Yeah, yeah. Make sure you study. From which, after getting rid of Darkat, and then continuing over, we found the orc female Bartle, who was chained up. And from unchaining her, continued making the rest of the way to Tourmaline for a little pit stop to go and collect the gems from Iced and Diced. Entering in through the small doorway, managed to talk to the 2 owners and gather that a small collection of the gems had been cleaned by that point. Collected those, left them with the rest to continue to be cleaned, and continued to make our way towards Targos, from which, getting Targos the rest of the way without the wagon, we'd found no issues in the travel. I'd managed to continue to keep an eye out for any herbs that were needed from the shopping list that Logdalom had given me. Continuing on, we found back the reason for our journey and delivered the gentleman Garrett safely. From delivering them back, the agreement was settled that a statue would be put back in Tourmaline, and the party had all seemed to go through a tense ordeal with Bartle, not understanding fully why, but understanding that people apparently like to have conversations on their own. Sentry stuck with Saya and continued back into the camp tent, workplace, whatever it is, work shed, and waited. And that's where I am now.
Amazing. Actually, really good job there. Really good job. The DM will remember this, just saying. Yeah, fantastic. I will be doing this regularly because it's nice to kind of hear a first-person view of possibly what you've done and what you've not done. But obviously, it gives a kind of idea of the first-person view. But yeah, absolutely. So last episode, the party set off from the Frostier Mountain with a full belly and rest, with new promises of curing the king if they could find the wizard Zool. The mission will take them to the tips of Icewind Dale, in some instances a very dangerous path and unknown territory for many. After leaving the doors from the Dwarven village, a disturbance from the latest announcement to the city from the High Councillor Horig that the city was under lockdown, no one in or out. Making their way back towards the familiar Tourmaline, the party, with a hasty arrival to their guide Garrett, made a quick pit stop as Jackal rented a cart out to some local builders. Sentry went and polished and cleaned some gems, and Salvation went to investigate about easier travel. They hastily made their way back towards Tourmaline after the transaction, and Sentry, carrying Asterix's body comfortably, no longer on the cart, headed towards Keegan, Garrett's husband, towards Targos. With a long, cold journey on the safer road towards Targos, a sight of a familiar stone builder harnessed on a wall boy ran up to Keegan in excitement, followed by Garrett, whose emotional reuniting was a bit of a sense of normality. Keegan left the party with a promise of a new statue in Tourmaline, as Sentry requested, and a wolf pelt saddle that Jackal has requested for Athena is now built and is now equipped onto Athena. Keegan and Garrett moved towards the gates of Targos, happily to spend some quality time together. After Salvation, spent a little bit more time with Batul and questioned or interrogated her about her mission in Bryn Shander. Tensions rise, and an emblem was found from Willow on Batul's person that represents the affiliation of the Arcane Brotherhood. The party decides what they're going to do next, but what will it be? And that's where we left off. So, you guys currently find yourself, I would say that it is getting on later in the afternoon. And the blizzard outside, as you have found yourself after this tension between Batul, has started to die down a bit, but it is pitch black out. You are currently by the workman's hut of Keegan, and Salvation and Batul are closer to the gates of Targos, whereas the rest of you find yourself in this workman's hut, fire blazing with these intricate bits of working material that would either fix or build walls, harnesses, things you've seen before. There's a little bit of a tension in the air. What would you guys like to do? I would like to leave D&D.
Yeah.
Too much pressure.
So what? We're all in the workman's hut.
So, if I remember correctly, Salvation and Batul are currently towards Targos.
We're in the queue getting into the city.
You, Willow, have spotted a cargo or a almost like a makeshift, what do you call it, like a market on the corner on the outside, and you heard a figure talk to you very briefly as you walked up to them.
Walked up to who? Sorry.
Walked up to you.
Or someone walked up to me.
Oh no, that was Salvation.
Oh,
Sorry, that was my
Salvation.
fault.
Oh no, I was gonna say. I
Yeah,
don't.
so
Just walk into our hut like.
go back 2 seconds.
Hey man.
Salvation and Batul.
Hello there.
Somebody said something. Someone said something to you on the way to Targos as you were walking towards it. Yeah, the rest of you guys are by the hut or outside or in, depending on where you want to be.
It was the caravan trying to sell things.
The caravan.
Yeah.
Yes.
You just weren't interested.
Yeah, you just
Yeah.
went straight
Oh,
for it.
thank you. Oh, goodbye.
But the rest of you are definitely feeling this tension and commotion, and especially this sight of this kind of brooch, but also the kind of walking away from the party from Willow and Jackal as well. You've seen this happen, but you guys are kind of residing in this area. Some of you are in, some of you are out. It depends on what you want to do, but what would you guys like to do next?
I'm assuming that we're all inside for what I'm about to do. So if there was a bit of tension in the air and shit, I'm assuming it's like there's kind of an awkward silence.
Yeah.
And Sayer's just kind of like slap his knees, just right. You want some food?
Yes. Good.
I don't
Do
know.
I have any food?
Yeah, I'm gonna get out some rations and warm them up over the fire, just to have something to do.
Just as a quick reference, Sayer.
Yes.
Just as a DM reference, just to remind me. Did you take the Yeti meat? Or didn't you?
I did.
Just remember that. Just did you eat it? I think you ate it, didn't you? On the we cooked. I think you cooked it on the base of Calvin's car, or didn't you?
No.
You still got
think
it.
so.
That's cool. Yeah.
Still got
Just so you know, you still got that meat on you in this.
Okay,
kind of like
I'll
burlap
use
sack.
the Yeti meat. I'll use the Yeti meat. Why not?
Yeah.
Might as well use it.
Is there still some of the cider pot brewing?
Yeah, you do. So on the side, you see this kind of like tea kettle. It's like a makeshift tea kettle. It's nothing too intricate, but it's basically a big metal pot with a lid on. You can see some steam bubbling up from it, and there is set on a stove and a fireplace just in front of you, where you guys are sat around. So you can see this. You would assume it's kind of like half full from when you saw him pour, and kind of like pour himself one. You saw the kind of level probably drop a little bit. So you would assume some is left. Yeah.
I'll go over with my water skin because I think I had shared that round last time, and I'll fill up the water skin with however much to fill that, and then if there's any cups about as well, since I know that everyone's probably a little bit thirsty and hungry, saying say a cook, I'll grab some cups out and fill those for everybody.
Okay. Yeah, you can do that, no problem at all. So you pick it up, and it kind of like jangles as you pick it up, and glogs into your water skin, and you empty the containers if anybody obviously accepts the offer.
I'll like skewer the meat and kind of like rotisserie chicken it.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to spit roast the meat or cook it into on a fire, you can find enough materials in this chamber to do so. There is
I thought there
plenty.
was already fire in here.
Say again?
Was there already fire in here?
Yes, there is a crackling fire in a smaller place on the opposite end where you're basically gathering around. So you could make a makeshift, almost like an oven, if you wanted to.
Okay. Are there any sticks or anything around? I could like kind of prop it up.
Yeah. So I mean, make an investigation check, just a quick one, just see what you can find.
First one.
And just shout out what you get.
6.
You go around and you see these kind of harnesses and kind of bits for cargo and maybe some things that strap stone up, you assume. And you kind of like rustle through and you think, oh, will this rope work? And you think, no, because it's flammable. And you kind of like look around and you can't make out a good kind of base for this kind of roast that you want to do.
Can I see him like scurrying around trying to find stuff?
Yeah, so as soon as Say's just been saying about food, he's basically got this chunk of meat wrapped up in a burlap sack, which is kind of like preserved because of the cold. You'd assume it would have been a bit mangled and a bit rotten by now, but because
I'll use my control flames to make the fire bigger and hotter.
You can do that. Yeah, no problem.
Big fire.
Big fat fire.
Everyone's sitting around this stove now. You can see that the fire is just kind of blown up a little bit, kind of like just flaming up. And as you can see, this magical aura just emulate from Willow's hands as she almost it's almost like in sync, like a parallel, like comes up a bit.
Obviously not ridiculous though.
Yeah, but like it was
reasonable.
Before it was more of a simmering fire, like a crackling just going over the logs, but now it's like a bit more intense.
Touching the meat kind of thing, nice.
Yeah.
Seeing
and I'll turn at the back of the cabin. Nearer to the wall.
You guys still haven't propped the meat up, by the way. The fire is lit, but the meat
Can
is
I
still
not just like stab it with my sword and just kind of hold over
Yeah,
it?
of course you can. You can do that.
I'm just gonna do that.
Yeah,
I'll go over as well, and if there looks like there's two kind of prongs, like you usually do for spit roast, to be able to pop it on.
Yeah.
Then I'll go over with one of my javelins and check it out.
I would say if you're all contributing to this, I would say it would be not. You wouldn't have to roll. You're not dumb enough to not find bits to prong up a bit of meat. So I would say it probably takes you about 2-3 minutes to come up with a contraption.
I'd be surprised.
Well, I mean, it is, but it's fine. So you basically see Saya just stab this meat on it as it kind of slides down his jagged sword, and he kind of puts it up and tries to place it on the flame. But then you see Sentry come along with a more reasonable method and goes, "Can you?" Yeah, you just place it. Basically, the skewered sword meat roast on a kind of X of javelins. It's a bit of a makeshift thing, but it looks pretty cool. It's functional.
Yeah, functional.
But can you use the flame sword to make instant toast?
Yeah, I think you can learn it.
There's only one way to find out.
I think that's a clever idea.
It definitely helps to, spread the butter. You ever had toast? Then it doesn't go all clumpy. But yeah, no.
For you that
If you've
don't
ever
know,
had toast, who hasn't had toast?
For you that don't know, Saya's sword is
Have
jagged.
you ever had toast?
Yeah. So it's kind of like it works really well as a skewer. Yeah.
Okay.
So at the moment you can just basically see the tension's in the room, but as soon as you guys are working a bit more together, it kind of shifts the immediate tension and lifts a little bit of the spirits. And now the meat is starting to get a bit. It's kind of like juicing a little bit. You can see saps of fat falling into the flame as it and the crackling. And you guys are just huddled in this dark, kind of like makeshift campsite, and it is silent.
I don't know much about flavor or taste, but I know people would usually put some herbs with meats and such. Do you want any herbs to go with this?
Look, Sentry, all you need is a bit of salt.
I don't think I have salt.
Do I have any?
Salt is not, unfortunately, in the adventurer's kit.
Okay.
I mean, you could try and look for some. This room is full of stuff. So if you can imagine, just like a really badly organised shed.
I have salt.
You have salt.
Oh!
I do.
There you go. Unless you tell me, I don't know what you've got.
My materials. For one of them, it's a pinch of citizen salt. So I have salt.
There you go.
And I would take the tiniest bit and just sprinkle it on.
Okay. So as you say this, Saya, and you say Salt, and you're having this conversation with Sentry, you see Willow's eyes just go, and she rummages through her bags and kind of goes and gets this big line of salt out, but goes, looking very pleased with herself. She puts it back and goes, yeah, there you go. She's very smug.
Thank you, Willow.
It's okay.
Yeah, it's continuing sizzling, and it's starting. I mean, Yeti meat is a fine delicacy, and the way that Saya has cut this, it's not like your typical kind of like anime meat through bone kind of like round thing. It's jagged. It's got a bit of fur on it. It's a little bit tender. It's not looking like a great steak, but as this is cooking, the waft of meat. For some who haven't had the taste of a proper meal, possibly, rather than rabbit stew, it kind of, opens the senses.
Nice.
Do we know how long until it's ready? Can I tell how long until it's ready?
Make a intelligence check, just a general intelligence, to see how long you have to wait.
Boy. Okay. 12.
You have no idea. You can see, with a 12, you can see that it's been a few minutes, and just where the flame's tickling underneath, you can see that the bottom half is starting to brown. So if you assume that you need to turn it round every so often, probably guess 20 minutes, half an hour.
Smell? Do I get advantage?
No. Unfortunately, smell doesn't help with cooking all the time.
Fuck! It was worth a try.
At this point, we will GTA zoom out of the cabin and straight back into the action with Salvation and Batul. And at the moment, Salvation, Batul is kind of like, her posture has dropped since the city, the Dwarven city. She had quite a nice, proud presence and walking quite brisk. With a very positive manner, but now she's kind of like almost, her mind has wandered. You can see her eyes kind of fluttering left and right, and she kind of looks at you, and when you glance back, she immediately like kind of looks down, not really knowing what to do with herself.
Okay, now that horrible business is dealt with, let's go find some axe beaks. Head towards the queue into Targos.
Have you been into Targos before?
Briefly, that is actually where I met this merry lot. There was incident in tavern. It is a little long story. I think I mentioned it briefly. The business with the throwing through the window.
Oh, yes.
But it is okay, because last time I was here, they did not think I was involved. I was not really that involved. I just swooped in and I saved someone. So I have feeling that they fine with me. So it all good as far as I'm concerned. That is why none of them came, just in case they were like, hey, you people who threw guy through window, and that would be bad.
So wouldn't it be safer if we bring everybody along?
No. Because if they get recognized and fights start, that would be whole situation. But they liked me, so that it's fine. We just go in, we find parts, and we leave.
Okay. Then she just kind of like shuffles up to you a little bit better, kind of like after you've had this kind of brief conversation. You can see like a bit of a shine coming back as she kind of like looks towards this queue. And at the moment, you've been here before, you've seen the queue into it, and by this point, Garrett and Keegan have got in. But there's almost like a bit of a backlog, and you would assume it'd probably be about 5-10 minutes for you to wait if you wanted to get to the front of the queue.
That's fine.
Would you like to join the queue?
Yeah.
Yep. So you make your way to the back, and as you're kind of walking down, because you walk towards the wall area, just off the side of the gate. As you're walking back, you can see a few heads turn towards you, hooded cloaks. Some people in the queue have these kind of all sorts of merriments of different items, such as they've got some sort of cargo. You can see a few axe beaks in there as well as there's a few dogs around. One gentleman in particular with a green hood, kind of like tattered, and he kind of holds like a bit of a staff as he kind of like looks towards you with his grey beard, kind of like gives you a bit of a scowl and kind of gives you and kind of looks back and carries on. And there's a bit of a weird tension with the entrance to this city that you've been in before. Not as kind of like you're a bit more hesitant, I would say.
Okay.
But you make your way to the back of the queue, standing behind this halfling. Again, hood up, winter clothes. But yeah, you wait there patiently.
If anyone's like giving Salvation funny looks, she's just gonna like grin at them really happily, just like.
Yeah, you do. You don't get any kind of like kickback from that. People just think like you do see like one of the guys that walked past, this guy behind the one with the beard who's with the pole, kind of like two gnomish characters just look at you and kind of like scratch their head, and they kind of like look towards each other and go, and then let you go. Yeah, but besides that, you make your way to the back, no problem.
Nice.
Yeah. Would you like to do anything in the queue?
Nah, just waiting until we get in.
Just waiting.
Go
on.
Salvation's gonna turn to Battle, and by the way, they have a little problem as we go in. You need to like sign your name on register, and I actually cannot remember which one this is, but I know some are human sacrifice, and that's not good. So try to give fake name. Just tell them anything; it'll be fine. They're not going to check.
Fake name. Okay.
Yes. Hello, my name, Olga.
Should I use the name Olga?
No, that's mine. That's mine. Come up with your own.
Oh my god.
Oh. Okay. I think I've got one.
Okay, what are you going with, so I know what to call you, so we don't fuck it up.
What happens if we fuck it up?
I don't really want to know.
Vela? Is that
Villa? Yes. Okay. Yeah. That'll do. Okay. Olga and Villa.
Velin?
Yes.
Velin. I like the name.
Velin. Okay. Yes. Olga and Velin. That work. We are merchants.
But
It's going
we
to be
don't
fine.
look like merchants.
No, don't worry. It'll be okay. I'm sure they won't ask. If they ask business, we just say we are coming to get axe picks, which we are. So it is only a little white lie. It's okay. It's not proper lie.
Okay.
It'll be okay.
Okay. And she kind of like shuffles behind you a bit nervously, like waiting around, kind of like going, Vel. And she just keeps saying it, like the name over and over again. And you kind of like a few minutes in, you see the queue move, and you move, but she's still there, like, and she kind of like shuffles
Track
in.
her along.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, if you guys are just waiting in the queue, we'll GTA zoom back to the roast dinner back into the camp. What are you guys doing continually?
I'm roasting. I'm roasting.
Get roasted.
Yeah, so as we see our camera pan across this roasted Yeti as it's kind of like steaming. There's some black bits in area where you've overdone it a little bit due to your not great knowledge of cooking Yeti meat and the intricacies of it. But you kind of look round and everyone's kind of heads are starting to kind of like lift a little bit and less down than earlier. But yeah, possibly there's still a bit of tension, but you know, I think most of the people, except for sentries, focusing on the food.
I'll take off the meat.
Would you say, sorry?
I'll take off the meat off the fire since I could see the little burnt bit.
Okay.
So I'm like,
you can still see that half of it is not cooked, so you're almost 3/4 of the way around.
It's
Yeah.
a big hunk.
It's a big chunk of meat. This.
Okay, then. Never mind. I keep roasting.
Yeah, cool.
I'll
So hungry, cannot wait.
I'll have a look through some of the open plan documents, just seeing what's what around. Because he said that he worked on Targos, right?
So you can assume from, I mean, make an intelligence check just for interest.
12.
12. With a 12, you can assume that because he's working on this stone wall that surrounds the area of Targos, possibly something they're building, you have an idea he might have some work inside the city as well.
Yeah. I just want to have a look, see if there's possibly any other entryways into Targos, possibly from Broken Wall or disused parts, and any other bits and pieces of the city to gain a little bit more of a open layout.
Okay. So what are you doing in particular? Sorry. What would you like to do?
Looking through the plans.
Looking through the plans, yeah.
Yeah,
So,
any can glean any more info.
I mean,
around the city.
you guys see Sentry just walk off towards this kind of like nook, square office space where earlier Salvation found the figurines. And you kind of walk past it, and there's a set of drawers, wooden drawers, which are a bit kind of like broken in places. There's a lot of sawdust on there. There's bits of like paint, and you can assume that this is a worker's bench. And you go through the kind of like drawers, and you can see underneath a stack of rolled up parchment. And you open up a few of them, and you can see plans for all sorts of things, such as cargo wagons and buildings that you've not seen before, like weird architectures. Some of them have got scribbles on, some of them are completely scribbled out and with calculations on the side, which are, you can see almost that he's getting frustrated with. But with that kind of investigation, you could assume that maybe this is an office, or he runs an office for the construction around Targos.
Yeah, just keep looking, see if I find any entrance ways or anything interesting.
You search, and it's just endless amounts of plans for buildings and constructs that you possibly have or haven't seen. There's no necessary plans or blueprint for another entrance to the city that you can see.
Is there a layout map at all of Targos?
From what you're looking at with that check, no.
No worries.
You'd assume this is just a bench full of ideas, not necessarily his stash of complete.
Idea bench.
Yeah, but I'll be doing that. Yep.
Yep, canon idea bench. Is anybody else doing anything else within this, or shall we zoom over to the cooked meats, or let's see how Saya does it?
No, it's okay.
I just want my meat.
Yeah, Jackal, are you up to anything? I completely forgot about you because I can't see your face.
Yeah, you could get
Oh, I see how it is.
Jokes.
No, Jack was just going to continue sitting by the fire, just making sure, keeping an eye that Sayer's cooking the meat correctly.
You want to help him cut the meat?
I won't be helping him, but I'll be watching him
Okay.
carefully to make sure he's not like overcooking it or undercooking it. And every time he does, if I notice it, then I'll say something.
Make a perception check for me, Jackal.
Will do. That is going to be a 9.
A 9. So yeah, I mean, it's kind of a weird working effort with you and Saya at the moment, because every time there's a splash of fat that hits the fire, Athena's ears just go like that, and you kind of look at Athena, and then you kind of miss the opportunity where Saya could have turned it a little bit. And the bottom edge is crisp, but some are crisper than others. But you do go, oh, can you just turn it? Or can you, you kind of help him out a little bit.
burning.
Yeah, to not fully burn the meat, but to kind of maybe medium rare, possibly over to well done, possibly over to too much done. But yeah, you kind of like work your way through, and you can work with Say for that. That's not a problem. So I would say,
nice.
If that's what you guys are going to do, obviously in this, we can zoom over roughly a few minutes, and then we'll GTA back over to Salvation. You guys are now at the front of the queue. There is the gnomish couple who are entering, and you can see now the halfling in front of you is getting called over and go, papers, please, papers. Come on, we haven't got all day. And, you see the halfling walk up and slaps a bit of crumpled paper on the table. Right, in you go. Next, papers, please. And points at you, Salvation.
Do I have papers already from being in before?
You do. Yeah.
Okay, in
From
that
your
case,
first
cool.
Maybe
I
not corruption.
pull those out. But
Yeah. So you
Now-
pull your it's a lottery ticket essentially. So you
Oh,
pull it
that-
out. It's got a number on it and your name, and a signed contract to say that you abide by the rules of Targos, and that you give yourself to the Frost Maiden if necessary to stop the blight.
I forgot I'd done that before.
So we're waiting for papers. Yeah, can you just pull them out, please?
Yes, of course, this is mine. But my friend here, it is her first time in city.
First time in city. Well, we're under new regulations as of late. Emergency circumstances only. We're not letting any new residents into Targos currently.
Even if she with me, I just need her help because we are here to trade, and I am going to be carrying out lots of stuff. I am here to spend lots of money, and I need help carrying things. She is my assistant.
So you're here on business?
Yes.
Can you prove any business papers or contracts you may have in Targos, please?
Have no papers. I'm here to buy Axe Beaks.
You're here to buy axe beaks?
Yes, I am here to see Brian.
Yes, so are many others. Have you got any in particular papers that we can see just to proof of business, as we are not letting any new residents in?
Just word of mouth from his brother in Tourmaline.
We're still after papers. You can tell me the name. We know Brian. We know him well. But
I was given
you
no.
are
Okay.
allowed in. There is no issue with you, just your friend.
Just okay. But I think you are going to have to go back to camp, and I will have to just handle this.
But my name's for Velen.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
Oh.
You go back. You go back. I will have to handle this myself. It's fine. I got it. No problem. No problem.
Are we
Yes,
going in? What's going on?
I am going in, but they are not letting new people in, which means I have to go in by myself. But it's be fine. I handle it.
Oh.
You go back to others and play nice.
I don't feel comfortable going back.
Willow's gonna beat her up.
No.
If you just want to hang around city, that's fine. But I don't think you are allowed in with me unless you have been here before.
And she kind of looks down, kind of like conflicted almost, as you know what's happened within. Obviously, what's happened just with Willow, but also the fact that she's been alone for a bit and she doesn't want to be alone. So you can put that two and two together. That's not an issue.
I know. I am sorry. It's shit situation. But it's just go back, tell them that we have sorted things out, all trust, all fine, and that I am handling Axe Peaks. But I think you have to go now because I do not want this man to shout at me.
As you're saying that, there's a figure in a cloak, quite bunched up, lots of like armaments on his back, probably a trader, buck teeth, white skin coming through. You can see behind him go, "What's the hold on the queue?
You can't wait. Give me one moment.
You threatening me, young lady?
I'm threatening no one.
Well, I need to get in the city and you're in my way."
Yeah, well, so do I. Okay, you go now. You go now because I do not want to get in a fight with this big man because I might lose. So I go in city now. I see you in bit. It's going to be fine. Just tell them we sorted things out and try to stay out of way of Willow just in case.
Make a persuasion check.
Persuasion, persuasion, persuasion. There you are. Please, please, please. Yeah, 17.
17. She kind of looks down, really like tense, and kind of goes, okay. And she just literally just turns around and kind of walks into that direction and goes, that's what I thought. And you see this kind of orcish guy kind of stare at her as he goes around.
I'm just gonna swear in Orcish and carry on going into the city.
What did you say?
Nothing.
Hey, are we moving on here? And he goes, yes, just a second, please. Papers.
Pop them down.
Thank you. Go on in.
Thank you. Head into the
Next,
city.
as you walk in, and you now open the doors open for you, and you can kind of find yourself back in a familiar town, but this time there's a bit of a weird energy, especially as tensions have risen from what you assume the assault on Tourmaline, and what was once quite a regimented street and people walking both ways. If you remember, there was a stream of people. There are now people fighting. You walk in and there's this mayhem with these two human figures. Just one's bashing his head into this water and kind of like almost doing the drowning thing and like grabbing his hair and kind of pushing him back in. You see town militia looking and watching at this, but not doing a thing. The militia have got all sorts of tattered armor now, some cuts and bruises, possibly you assume from the warfare that happened. As you're walking through, you're kind of dodging and diving out of the way of all sorts of mayhem. And you think this town has gone to shit. Like, you feel like the whole, the way that the setup is now maybe there's a lack of leadership here. Or some sort of authority is not present currently. And you kind of like scoot your way around past two other humans that are coming towards you, and they kind of like give you a very weird and strange look and go, hey, you there, what's your name?
None of your damn business.
Well, you're in my city, so this is my business. What's your name?
Who says it's your city? Who are you?
Nah, let's just say I'm a good friend of the owners here.
Well, I'm just here to do business. I'm not here for trouble. I would like to just go about my business and leave. Thank you very much.
You're a bit mighty pretty to be doing business in here.
You keep your hands to yourself.
I'll keep my eye on you. And he walks past you as you go past.
Don't really try.
You kind of turn around and or do you turn around?
Yeah. I'm just gonna walk towards.
That's fine.
Where do I know where I'm going to get to the Axebeak dude?
No idea.
No idea. Okay, so I'm going to head to what's the name of the tavern we were in before I saved the person?
The Luskan Arms.
The Luskan Arms. I'm gonna head to the Luskan Arms.
Okay. Yeah, you can happily make your way down. In fact, let's see if I've got some sort of visual for you here.
What's the name of the guy? I don't think I ever wrote it down. Gonna be making you recall very long ago accent.
Just don't.
Oopsie.
Just don't.
Oopsie.
I'm not prepared.
My bad.
Mhm.
I don't remember the
recorded.
barman's name, so I'm gonna assume that Salvation never actually got his name.
It was just barman back then.
I'm just
It was Barman.
to the guy. that was
Imagine if his name was Barman.
First name Bar, second name Man.
Okay, so I'm just going to throw you on the map here. Or I'll throw our viewers on the map, actually. Because why not? Because you like to throw curveballs at me, so it's absolutely fine.
Oopsie.
Right, so what can we see on the oldie? That's it, it's coming up. Nice. So, you enter the city. Can you see that? Can anyone see that? Yes, they can. So as you enter the city, you obviously make your way past the kind of rabble, and you're walking towards. Let me just make sure I can draw on this so you can have a look. Okay, so let's make it a nice red colour. So you've gone in through here. Can you see where I'm drawing? Fantastic.
Yes.
Cool. So you've just gone in through here, and that's where you saw the kind of rabble, and you've walked towards past to where you know, which is the Luskan Arms, which is around about here, just by the shoreline, or the docks, as it were. And you kind of like make your way past these other people that are coming backwards and forwards, and you can see more rustle and bustle and smashing of windows, and it's just like this place has gone to absolute chaos. Like, where is the trade in this place? What is going on, and where are the militia? And why was there so much security in the front if it is literally just this? So there's a lot of these thoughts going through your head, but you kind of dodge and make your way around, kind of past some scared civilians who kind of like hiding behind this kind of like corner of this building. It's just their heads poke out and kind of like look round, and you kind of notice them as you make your way around towards the docks, and there's a slight slope that goes down, and you can see the shoreline with the kind of frozen boats in it now, and you kind of like walk around, and there are some merchants going around still doing their business, trying to avoid everything that's going on, and in the distance you see the very familiar looking Luskan Arms in a very bad way.
Okay. I'm gonna head in anyway.
Okay, so as you approach, you could see the sign on the outside saying the Luskan Arms, and this is kind of like a very makeshift building anyway. And as you remember, the interior was like an old pirate ship. It represented this kind of eerie kind of place to live or work. And as you come around, you can see some of the windows, or the familiar boarded up window is now not boarded up anymore and still smashed in. And again, it is broken from other means, you would assume, because the board is now broke. The windows on the outside are cracked. As you go through and head towards the Luskan Arms, there is currently someone kicking someone through the door towards you. As this is another sort of taffle between two people that obviously don't like each other, but this time they are really going at it with all sorts of makeshift weapons. One of them's got like a bit of glass and is kind of cutting and dodging away from him, and it kind of kicks him to the ground, and you stumble over and dodge. And you walk into the Luskan Arms, and surprisingly, there's not many people in here. There are a few patrons having an ale, more ruffian-looking fellows. And behind the bar, you see the familiar barkeep, kind of like ducking and diving between them, and looking very upset and sad with himself.
Okay, I'm gonna go over to him. Hello.
Just give me a second. Just remember some notes. Okay, so yeah, you see kind of the familiar older looking chap. He's not too old, he's probably middle aged, but thin of hair, open tattered shirt at this point with stains and all sorts, and he kind of like looks to you and goes, "Hey, I remember you. Hey, how are things?"
Hello. Strange, but apparently not as strange as here. And she's gonna pull her hood down, sort of look around. Are you okay?
Yeah, just remind me of your name again. Sorry.
It's Salvation. I was here when things, I was going to say kicked off, but it appears things are just kind of always kicking off now.
As of late, yes. We gave you rescue and a place to live for a day. I remember giving you the chambers. Was that right? It was a short while ago.
I helped someone in the bar, and then I was knocked out, and you let us sleep in kitchen.
Yes, I remember you. Since then, this town has gone to turmoil. Well, ever since the Speaker Nerf was murdered, and he one of his the rumours were one of his leading commanders led a charge into Tourmaline, and
Oh my goodness.
they lost the battle, and normally there are speakers in place to take control, but there was a ruse, and there are conflicting governing parties, and now we don't have any leadership here, as you can probably tell. And he kind of like puts his hand out towards the guys that are still fighting outside.
I see. Okay, that is not good. I'm actually here because I am looking for a man called Brian. He sell axe beaks, but I do not know where I'm going, so I was hoping to just come in here and ask you, but I was not expecting to come into this.
You say Brian, yes. As you probably can tell, trade is very scarce and scattered in this place at the moment. There is no working shops, and he kind of like, as he says shops, a flagon of beer or ale just comes towards him and goes, smashes behind him. He goes, I hate it when that happens. Look, you're probably not going to get much business around here until it all settles down, but you can try and look for him. As I remember, he's in the northern side of the city, closest to the wall. You can't miss the axe beaks, but I wouldn't keep your hopes up.
Okay, well, his brother sent me, and I bring gold, so I hope that is enough. I will find him. Anyway, I'm sorry I don't have time to stop for drink, but and I'm just gonna slide a gold piece across the bar.
He kind of sees you do that and kind of grabs the gold piece and goes, "You're too kind. Maybe when things settle down here, we, I don't know. It'd be a better place. But for now, I'm sorry, I can't be much help. We're thinking of getting out the city for a few weeks anyway.
That sounds like a good idea.
As we have family south of Bryn Shander, and probably stay with them for a while until we come back to whatever's left of this place.
That is a good idea. I hope your tavern is still standing when you return.
Well, between me and you, and there's no point in hiding it anymore, Nath was keeping this afloat. He was the residence and the keeper of this place until he was killed. And let's say there's no money coming in. So I don't know what I'm going to do with myself.
I am sorry there is not more I can do to help.
Well, perhaps we can work something out. Maybe in the future, if you're interested in a business proposition.
Well, we are on some business currently that might take us away for some time, but if we are all still standing when we get back, then maybe there is something we can do.
If you help me rebuild the Luskan Arms, then perhaps there's a share in it for you. I don't know. We'll figure it out. But I can see why not. I trust you more than I trust any of these. And he kind of points towards the ruffians that are just sitting there, like eyes up, like over the tank. It's like just like staring, kind of like really like sodden face, like scars and scabs. Like these guys aren't looking great. And if these are his regular patrons, then yeah, this place is going downhill.
Oof. Well, okay. Maybe we see you sometime in future, I hope. But I really need to go and try and find Brian.
Okay. And he kind of turns around and puts the gold in a pouch. Picks up a few tankards and moves them and shifted a few boxes and things. And he goes, try not to come back soon.
Yeah. Good advice. Keep well, and I'm sorry. Just gonna pull up a hood again and walk out.
Yeah, he kind of looks down as you walk off. You can see he's this guy has been hurt. I would say emotionally, but obviously his business has been affected. So he's really feeling the kind of the brunt of it. Yes, it wasn't a great place to start off with, and when you came in before, it was still eerie, but there was some sort of regimented thing going on. There was still a source of business, but now it's chaos. and as he kind of like turns around, you leave the Luskan Arms. Yeah.
I'm going to try and head the north side to
Yep.
try and find.
You can make your way to the north side. We'll GTA zoom out of this and pan over as our camera falls on the little tavern area. Sorry, not a tavern. The little building that you were in that Keegan owns. The little campsite that you've made inside. And as you kind of as you kind of like work your way around, and the camera kind of sees everyone, kind of like looking at the meat, and as it's nearly being prepped and finished, everyone hears a.
Come in.
You hear a creaky kind of as open as the wind blows in and goes. I couldn't get in, and Salvation's sent me back. And you can see a very kind of like blustered, a bit nervous Batul, with obviously Willow's cloak pull through as she kind of shuts the door behind. And she kind of looks around at everyone and goes, I'm to wait here and wait for Salvation.
Fair enough. Are you hungry at all?
That's all. Why were you sent back? What happened?
They're not letting any new residents, I think. I overheard some. But I don't think they're letting anybody in who doesn't have a ticket, I think. Whatever the tickets are.
Did you
Salvation say that she could manage?
Salvation told me to wait here, and she placed a ticket and walked in. She said she was going to find Axe Speaks from Brian, and she told me to wait here until she comes back.
Did you see anything of the inside of Talos at all?
No. Just the queue outside. There were some scary-looking people. Besides that, I didn't want to go in anyway.
Were there any wanted posters about?
Oh, sorry, say that again?
Were there any wanted posters about? Still hard presence?
Not wanted posters, not that I could see. And she kind of like looks down and looks around and looks at you, Willow, and goes, kind of like takes the coat off and goes, I guess you want this back.
No, it's okay.
And she kind of like puts it back on really sheepishly, like kind of like, and then looks around and goes, do all of you not trust me? And she kind of like addresses everyone at this point.
Don't really trust anyone, to be fair. It's not right. You're any different.
I mean, you still haven't properly addressed the manner of why you carry such a symbol on your possession.
I'm sure Salvation has told you why I'm here in the first place. We ran away from the temple, and I was sent on a mission to find information about the Arcane Brotherhood. One of my matrions sent me on this as there was some potential threat, immediate threat to the temple, and I was sent to find information about any whereabouts of Arcane Brotherhood that might want to infiltrate the temple. And so I found myself in Bryn Shander, and me and three others, we, mainly me and Freya, found ourselves to the North Look, which is a tavern within Bryn Shander. And we were hungry, and we wanted to eat food, and we needed somewhere to rest, and the only kind person there was an old psychic called Beldora. And she was very kind. She gave us food, and she asked me to go into the Northlook to find more information about some figures that were going in. And so me and Freya followed, and Freya's very good at not being seen. And we found these figures, and she took something from them and passed it to me out of fear and anxiety, and then she left, and I hid it, and I didn't know what to do with it. Before then, all I remember is being thrown on the back of a cart and being tied up and led away. But I am not a threat to any of you. I don't pose a threat. I am here as a friend of Salvation's.
I can't remember what I have and haven't so far, but can I insight the threat bit in particular?
Yeah, absolutely. Make an insight check.
Check in to see if she's like looking away, giving any sort of signs of hesitancy or deceitfulness.
Go ahead.
Which is an 18.
18. With an 18, you can definitely see this figure is looking scared, shocked, and kind of like nervous to talk to you guys about like opening up. Perhaps this figure seems a little bit shy, and the way she's opening up to you now is more like she's kind of got a boost of confidence. She's sat up, she's telling everyone, and what she's telling is a direct truth. You would assume there's no twitch or any sort of kind of like, you don't get the feeling that she's lying to you or trying to hide something from you right now.
Well, like I already said, in times like these it's hard to trust each other, but why don't you just sit yourself down, say it's got some meat on the go, and get everyone fed.
Does the meat look about done now?
The meat does look done, yeah. It's to your knowledge from your roll earlier, it looks great.
Alright, I'll is there anywhere I can put it to like cut it up or anything?
Yeah, so you're in a workshop. You've got wooden planks, you've got saws, you've got all sorts of tools and equipment that chip off stone and stonework.
I'll just it down on a table.
Yeah, so
and, start sawing like sections out for people with my jagged sword.
So you basically find this table, you wipe off the sawdust or whatever was on there before, who cares, you place it down, and it doesn't kind of squish, it goes poof, like that, because it's cooked. Obviously there's no real juices coming out of it. It kind of like, you saw through it, and you go through the first half and you think, oh wow, this is amazing, and then towards the middle you're like, oh, this is a bit, and then you go, yeah, that's raw. And you kind of saw through. But the outer edges of the meat are definitely cooked.
Hey, medium rare.
So if you guys like raw, and it's your thing, and you turn around to the party, and the party can see you cutting this up because you're making a bit of a scene. You're the only person doing anything in this room right now. And as you kind of like, as you're squishing the sword through, as it's making the meaty noises, you hear, you see Athena's ears just pop up and go, and she kind of brings her nose closer and kind of like even closer. Are you doing anything?
I mock her by going right up to her face and going.
Okay. She kind of like she kind of anime style like looks at like big eyes and goes like her eyebrows go down kind of thing.
I must have gotten a little section out, so I toss it to her.
Okay,
like,
yeah. You toss it and she kind of goes and kind of you get the chewy effect. Yeah.
I'm gonna silent speech to Athena and say, "Go on, girl. You deserve more than that."
Okay. As you are throwing this meat, her ears kind of like twinge and like almost like vibrate, and then she kind of like goes, "I'd like you to make a dexterity check, please."
I can't remember where anything is.
Have you got Athena's stats, Jackal?
I do.
I'd like you to make a dexterity check.
I got that one. Don't even.
Okay.
No, because Athena could get that one, so.
Just to see what happens, yeah. just read it out. You got a.
Sorry, Athena got a 6.
A 6, fantastic. He's got a 5. Okay,
Oh,
so
no.
I mean, this is kind of a jagged thing, and it's like it's not the perfect like snatch and steal, but like she kind of nudges you out the way, places it on her mouth, and like kind of like you kind of like tug with it a second, you kind of rips it away. Currently, she's got.
Wait, she's got the whole fucking.
She's got the whole. She's got the whole bit you've just cooked in her mouth. There's a little bit hanging out, and she's currently chewing on it.
I get on all fours, kind of looking wolfish, not transforming though. I still look normal.
Okay.
I kind of like go a little bit animalistic. Sorry.
Okay.
And I'll try and threaten her to get it back.
Okay. What are you doing to threaten her?
Growling.
Okay. So you're growling as a Sayer.
In human form, he's just like.
Can I roll intimidation?
You can make an intimidation check with disadvantage. Yes.
Disadvantage.
Because you're not in wolf form. You don't look scary. You're a young boy.
Oh. 7.
Okay. 7.
With that-
Go on, Jackal.
Would that be an insight on Athena
It would
to
be.
roll, or
yeah.
is it just going to be a certain? Okay, an insight
It
on
would
Athena.
be.
What's insight normally? Sorry, is it wisdom or intelligence?
I believe it's intelligence. Is it? Wisdom's perception. Was it?
One.
Wisdom?
Now.
It's wisdom.
Wisdom. Yeah.
Wisdom. Cool.
It's been too long.
Fuck.
A 9. Yeah, so you kind of like do this really childish, like kind of like a young.
Well, no, I still sound like a.
Yeah, but it's not intimidating at all with this boyish face. And you kind of like looking towards Athena, and she's just munching. She's just doesn't flinch.
I just said, fine, none of us are eating. It's your fucking fault.
And she kind of makes her way more towards the bone area. There is a bit of meat left on that hasn't been touched. Is anybody doing anything? No.
Sulking.
Just.
No.
And in a few seconds, Athena just literally you hear the crunch of the bone at the end, and it kind of. And she kind of does the kitty. And your Yeti meat has gone. But Athena, very happy.
You just hear Jackal just chuckling to himself in the corner.
Do I notice that?
Make a perception check. By the way, everyone is feeling very hungry right now. You have had quite a bit of a journey, except for Sentry. You are all feeling a little bit famished.
I got a 14 for perception.
Okay, a 14. You do recognise or see the eyes of Jackal, because you can't see his facial features, but you can see the kind of like his eyes have gone up a little bit, like a smile. Yeah.
As soon as I see that, I like whip and like kind of like stare at him.
Okay.
The show's like, something funny.
Well, obviously you're a very good chef, so she seemed like she enjoyed it.
Oh, don't complain to me when you're hungry then. And I get out my rations and just start
Okay, that's fine. Yeah. I mean, you all have rations, but you were just promised a greater meal. I mean, it's one of them. Who knows if it was cooked anyway? I mean, that's what most of you think. But yeah, you continue to do that. Is anybody doing anything else in this room? Say, Sentry, Willow? Just watching others go by?
Yeah, if I couldn't find anything of interest within, I'll just head outside.
Okay, you head outside, no issue. And as you head outside, you kind of like see that this blizzard has died down a little bit. It's not as in your face anymore. And you can kind of see in the distance on the left the kind of flickering lanterns of this makeshift camp. And you can see towards the end some flickering lights further on, a few 50, maybe 100 feet out of the lights of Targos, and you can see the entrance being lit as it normally is.
Is there anybody about?
Within your vicinity? Nope.
Okay,
Unless anybody's followed?
that's fine. No, I just been random citizens or anything around the area.
No. Baron.
That's. I'll just have a little look around the close area see if there's any thing for my herbalism kit at all, or
Yeah.
from the Logdalom shopping list.
Just remind me what you're using for a source of light,
Ooh.
as it's pitch black.
I will. I mean, there's torches about the place.
Far off in the distance, and just a small firelight coming from your house, your little.
Okay,
encampment.
there's no.
There's
torches
nothing outside. No.
Place. Yeah, I'll go inside then and grab a bit from the fireplace.
Okay, so you're making like a makeshift torch. Yeah.
Yeah.
You can bring one out. Yeah.
And I'll go out with that then.
Okay. Make an investigation check. You're going to spend some time doing this.
Yeah.
Okay.
14.
14. I would say. In fact, before we do that, obviously, if we're not doing anything else in this encampment, we'll zoom back to Salvation, as it might take you a little bit of time just to find, obviously, what you're looking for.
Yep.
Salvation, you are now towards the north end of Targos, and this kind of area is a little bit quieter. It's not as, kind of like rustle and bustle. It's kind of the outer skirts where you might see a few of the other residents living or hiding away at the moment. But you go to the end, and you can kind of see this stretch of building. It's kind of like a makeshift wooden building with a very similar to what you see in Tourmaline, these kind of like wooden spires with the wooden outside with kind of stonework around the doors, and there's not any intricate kind of carvings in there, but it's just kind of a snow thatched roof, and outside there is just a set of stables. You've got a few spires with you can see clearly the stable doors as they go around the corner, and you walk up to the door, and it does say Axe Speaks for rent or for sale. In you can see the sign on the top, kind of handwritten with paint. And you walk around, and you can kind of see some of the stables, and most of them are empty. But there's a fire lit on the inside of the window, as you can see. It just leads up to a few set of stairs, a small archway door, 2 windows on each side, and you can see a fire coming from one of the windows just flickering. What would you like to do?
Can someone remind me how many axe beaks I'm getting? Is it 4? Me, Saya, Willow.
I was fine for running.
You weren't having one sentry?
No, I don't believe it was.
No, I don't think you were either. So then 1 for... I can't remember whether we said Bethel was staying with us after Bryn Shander.
I can't remember how many we
Oh.
decided. I just know the price of them that we gave you the money for.
You guys wanted to get one for each of you, except for one person. I think it was 4.
I think it was 4 too. Okay, cool. Just checking. Alright, I'm gonna head inside.
Okay, so you walk up to the door, and it's kind of like an intricate kind of like...
Just gonna get a drink.
That's fine. You can see this kind of like oak door with like bits flaking off it. It's not a great detailed door, but you can see on the front of it, you can see the sign, and it says Brian's shop in front, just in the kind of like scratch work, and underneath you can see it in different languages as well. So you assume one of them is Orcish, and you can see that, and it says the same thing. And it does say like a small kind of like there's a bit of paper on the bottom as a disclaimer, with some more terms on there about the axe beaks and things like that, and as you kind of see in most businesses, but it's just a bit of parchment attached to the door, nailed on. And as you knock on, you kind of like bang on the door, and you can wait a minute or so, probably half a minute, 30 seconds, and he goes, "Yes?
Hello, I am looking for Brian.
I'm Brian.
Your brother Ivan sent me.
Ivan sent you?
Yes, I am looking for axe beaks.
Well, axe beak, you've come to the right place, love, but it's the wrong time.
I have gold.
Yeah, right. Look to your left.
Okay.
Do you see any axe beaks?
Do I?
No.
No.
That's how many we have left.
Oh, that is problem. Yes.
We are
okay.
having we had an arrangement with a few worksmen over down Bryn Shander, right? So they bring them back every other day. Tomorrow is that day. Bring them back. We should have some more for you, but I wouldn't count on it with what's going on around here.
Oh, I see. Okay.
How many do you need?
4.
Four. I can get you 2. 2 for tomorrow.
I don't think that is going to work. Do you have any other, like, large animals that can travel over long distances, say tundra, that kind of thing?
How far are you going, love?
Pretty far.
How far is pretty far?
I couldn't tell you in actual distance, but
Just tell me in days. Tell me in days.
I think it's about a week.
A week, Stroh? Where are you going? You gonna bring these back?
Yes, of course, if we don't die. Of course, we bring them back, absolutely. We are going towards, if I just delve into my memories so I can figure out where it is that we are going. And it is circled, but there is no name on the map.
Yeah, no, it's just a blank area. But I think we were told roughly how far the journey would take.
Yeah, just finding where I've written it down. When did we speak to the... Yeah, I really should have looked this up. No, I've not gone. I need to go further back.
You could ask around where the Reghead tribe is.
Reghead tribe, that's the one. Thank you.
You're welcome.
We are going in direction of Reghead territory.
Sorry, did you say Reghead?
Yes.
What? And you kind of hear a pause. It kind of like opens the door like a creak and goes, and in front of you you see a shorter human, a long scraggly black beard with plaited ends, saggy eyes, kind of like a really like harsh skin under his eyes, and balding head. He's got a little bit of a hat on, a bit of a farmer's hat, and he kind of a bit of an overcloak with a pipe hanging out, and goes, "Young missy, you're gonna see Raghead."
Will that general direction?
Are you telling me you want to take my axe beaks over to those savages? You must
Well,
think again, because last time
we'll-
I handed those to adventurers like you, I didn't get them back. In fact, I got them back in a body bag. I don't sell meat, okay?
Well, we bring them back. We're very experienced.
He kind of like puffs on his and goes, "Well, I don't care how experienced you are, my axe beaks are going nowhere near Raghead. In fact, you shouldn't be saying that name around here. You're lucky you're staying alive if you keep battling your beaks like that, excuse the pun."
Well, we're not going there. We're not dealing with them directly. You asked for direction, and that's the only place that I know around there. We're actually just looking for one person. We just know that it's like in that general area, but we are not actually going to Raghead. We're not crazy.
Kind of looks at you, gives a bit of a slight eyebrow, and kind of goes, "Like I say, missy, we can give you 2 by tomorrow. Can't give you 4.
Oh, do you know if they sell them in Brinchanda?
Yes,
or
any
any other
Shannon. Talk to
You
my
don't
cousin
happen-
Stan, it can do you a good deal." That's the thing. It's actually a thing. It's actually a thing. I just couldn't- yeah.
Incredible.
Oh, God.
Sorry, what was your cousin saying?
Well, I haven't sent you here.
Yes.
Obviously, I assume he likes you, so that's why I sent you. Tell me my name. Yeah, Stan is over in Brinchanda. And he kind of pops his and goes, "Just say after the one with the most hair, and he'll give you the best deal, okay? I trust you, but don't tell him about Raghead, because he's not going to give you any."
Okay, thank you. That is very good to know. The one with the most hair.
He probably told you to ask for the strongest one, didn't he?
He did, yes.
Yeah, that's ideal. Especially if he
Okay.
likes you, it's good. But yeah, ask for the one with the most hair.
The most hair.
Mm.
Okay. Alright. Thank you very much, Mr. Brian. You have been mostly helpful.
Now, Deirdre, have you got my clothes ready? Hold on. Deirdre,
Fucking Christ.
Kind of turns around. And he turns around and goes, I gotta go. Sorry about this. He kind of like shuts the door.
Okay, have a wonderful day.
And you just hear it. And all the locks go on. And you just hear his own, here it go. You just hear the noise start.
Okay, I'm just gonna head back to the town entrance then.
Yeah. And as you walk out, you can clearly see there are no axe beaks in there. And the stable kind of goes round, and you can see like possibly there's enough for 10 or 12 axe beaks in this place, but there are none. As you assume, probably some have been stolen. With the what's going on around, you have no idea whether they're coming back or not. But from what Brian has told you, he said that he possibly has got 2 available. Possibly that's all that's left. You don't know. Just putting the pieces together, and that's what's going on in your mind. And as you step down into the once again very cold streets of Targos, alone in this rough city, what would you like to do?
I'm just gonna head back to the town entrance.
Yeah. And as you kind of like walk through the main way which you went back, peering past the slope, past the slide of the docks where you went past, and in a very fantasy world, medieval fashion, flicking a coin on the end of a edge of one of the buildings, you see this very familiar gentleman with his bigger, larger compatriot just standing by him and goes, I knew I'd find you.
And what were you looking for me for?
You seem to be interested. You took my interest. Let's just say that.
There is nothing interesting about me. I came to do business. The business is done, and now I am leaving.
And what business might that be?
Well, I was looking for transport, but there appears to be none here since whatever this crazy shit is, so I'm leaving as quick as possible, please.
Okay, so he kind of flicks his coin, catches it and grabs it and go, transport, you say?
Is this something you can help with?
Depends where you're going.
None of your business.
Well, if it's none of my business, then I'm not going to help you.
Far. We're going far north.
Far north. How far?
About a week. About a week.
A week. That's very interesting. And he kind of gives you a look up and down, looks towards his bigger, larger human with a kind of bald head. You can see his past his hood, and he kind of gives him a bit of a like a side kind of face, and the bigger guy comes up to you and goes, how far are you going?
Like I just said, about a week. Can you help me, or can you not? Because I would like to leave if you cannot.
How much gold you got, little girl?
Again, none of your business. How about you give me a price and tell me what it is you are offering, and then I will tell you.
Well, we might just have a proposition for you. Because, let's just say, we're just some lonely sellswords around here, and we can give you some assistance if you need it.
We don't want any business with sellswords. We have people in Bryn Shander I am going to see. They will sort me out. I don't think I need your business, but thank you.
And the other one turns around and goes, you don't need our business? Okay, that's fine. You're going to die with the redheads like the rest of them. That's fine. You can go die by yourself. It's a shame if you didn't have someone to guide you through those horrible, vast lands of Arctic shit, wouldn't it?
How do you know where I am going?
Well,
Who are you?
You said a week's, and there's only one way to go.
Right. You still haven't given me a name.
Looks at this coin, flicking it through his hand as well.
You're lucky my friend is not here, because he really likes taking people's names, and he'd have you through a window by now.
Who's your friend?
How many times do I have none of your business for it to sink in?
And they kind of both look at you a bit like, a bit not sure of where you're going with this, but also at the same time they're trying to sell you something. They're like, Okay. You want names?
I do.
Just call me Tyson.
Okay. Dyson.
Call me Tyson. That over there is Mur.
Mer.
Jesus.
And all we can say is that if you want to get there alive, probably take us up on our opportunity.
What is the opportunity?
Guidance and passage, safe passage to where the hell you're going. Maybe don't get your head cut off by a frost giant or a yeti. That's my offer to you.
Ah, we can handle Yeti.
What about a frost
Frost-
giant?
Okay, frost giant bigger, but I reckon we'll be fine.
Kind of like goes down more to your level. Kind of like squats on a bit of a stone embankment next to a barrel. Kind of like really confidently leaning in. Goes.
She's making herself look as tall as possible, and she's like looking him dead in the eyes, like.
And as he's talking to you, you've noticed he just keeps looking at this coin. He's like looking at it, going, we've encountered some frost giants, but they just want to stay alive. Those frost giants are gonna eat you up for supper, breakfast, anything. They can crush you with their palms.
Have you ever killed a frost giant?
I know somebody who has.
Well, that's not the same thing, is it?
The aim is you don't kill them. The aim is getting around them.
I am very sneaky, I'll have you know.
Sneaky ain't good enough for some of those frost giants. They got ears good enough for eagles. They got eyes big enough for owls.
They're big, I get the picture.
No, they're not big. They're giant, hence the name.
Yes, I'd figured that out, thank you.
Mm.
Look, if it's all the same to you, I'd very much just like to get out of the city. I do not think what you are offering is worth it to us. We are very brave. There is a lot of us. We can handle the tundra perfectly fine. Thank you. We just need transport.
He kind of like looks at you and goes, well, if you make your mind up. And he will present you the coin with one finger, just balancing.
Can I carefully reach over and then just yoink and look at it?
Take this to the old shanty in Bryn Shanda. If you change your mind, we'll be there.
This hasn't put me in some sort of debt to you weirdos, has it?
We'll find out, won't we?
Don't like the sound of that. But
No,
okay.
you're not in any debt. This is just a calling card. This is so you can gain entrance and entry to our services. And we personally chose you, just remember that.
Well, okay, what was the name of this place again?
The old shanty.
The Old Shanty.
South
Okay.
side of town, look for the old crank on the outside. The cogs, you'll find them. Looks a bit weird, but looks like a bit of a mill. Got some big giant cogs going around, you'll find yourself there.
Alright, I will keep that in mind and I will take it back to my companions and I shall see what they say. Can I have a look at the coin and see if there's anything that looks like... What does it look like? What's on it?
It's a beautifully polished, golden-looking coin. Not sure of the metal. It could be made of some sort of other metal, aluminium, titanium. But looking around the coin, on the front you can see an emblem you've never seen before. And on the back you can see two swords clashing, like this, and a flame in the middle. The emblem is a lot more intricate. It's got swirls and kind of like delicate edges. And for you, I mean, make a history check just for me real quick. To see if you recognise this style of it.
17.
17. With 17, you would understand that this basically is the art of some sort of guild. Or some sort of... either a company or guild. You can't put your finger on it, but you've seen similar, possibly on the works of Jackal, and you've seen similar on the works of Quell.
Okay.
And that's it. It's just a very nice, shiny coin. As you say this, and they kind of give you it, they go... he kind of like walks up, stands up straight, shrugs his back, kind of like cracks his head, and goes, "Come on, Mer, we'll give us something to do." And they'll walk back into the distance, and as you see them walk past, you can see one of the townsfolk kind of come up to them, almost kind of like barging into them, and he kind of barges them back and pushes them into a barrel, and you see Mer just kind of like look at him and spit on him, and he walks away.
Can I go over and help this guy up?
Go ahead if you want.
Just give him a hand up.
Okay,
off the
so
floor and then
they're walking off.
nod.
You run up to this guy who's just been pushed, and you kind of like look to his face. His face is like all sodden, very scabby. He kind of like he's looking at it with dilated pupils, and you can see he goes, "Hey, you got any water for me? I need some water."
No, sorry. I was just picking you up after those guys pushed you. Sorry, and then I'll just carry on trying to walk away.
Why are you so colourful?
Oh, okay. I see what's happening here. I'll just carry on going swiftly.
Okay, so you walk past, and they kind of like stir off on a different direction to the exit. So they walk off. You see them walk off into the shadows, almost into this kind of alleyway, and you walk round towards the door, towards the entrance, with no issue. Just dodging past a few ruffians and people that look a bit weird, and you finally make your way to the entrance or exit of this place as the doors open. And you see the officer commander at the door, who asks for your papers, eyes you up as you leave and goes, "Next! Papers, please! Papers!" And you can hear him going back, and you obviously he's not talking to you, he's talking to people going out to different issue. And you kind of almost have a breath of like, what the fuck is going on in there? Like, it's like, I'm happy to be out rather than in. And you can see in the distance the caravan, probably 100 feet away from you, some lights going on there, flickering. You can see some people passing and possibly purchasing some goods. And then further on, just faintly, you can see the light of your little camp.
Yeah, just gonna head straight back to the camp, swift as I possibly can.
Absolutely. GTA, let's zoom back in to the rest of the party. Batul's just sitting there waiting, leaning up against one of the wooden walls and kind of like looking to herself, kind of like twiddling her thumbs almost. And then you just hear the door, and in comes familiar Salvation, walking in.
Hi guys.
How did it go?
Not great.
Means
Where to start? Okay, first of all, the city real fucked. Real fucked.
it was before, was it not?
No. This real bad. There is total chaos. People fighting in streets. Everybody just beating each other up. The militia doing absolutely sweet fuck all. It's real bad. Yeah, the whole killing nurse thing. You guys really fucked up. It's gone to shit. So I went back to the Luskan Arms to see if he knew where to find this Brian guy, and that place also real bad. That nice barman is now going to have to escape city, and his only patrons were like real rough-looking dudes. And then I went to find this Brian guy. He have no act speaks, like 2 that we could maybe have for a few days, but definitely not for a week. Maybe we'll be able to find some in Prince though. He have cousin there, so that may be fine. And then I bumped into these really weird dudes.
That's pretty normal in that city.
No. Like weirder than usual. They were big buff guys. They kept trying to make proposition with me. But Jackal, do you recognize this? Pull out the coin and show it to him.
Mr. DM, do I?
Bear with me. Didn't know this was going to happen this quick. Yeah. Okay. So you pull out the emblem on the side of the coin, and the first thing you notice is the delicacies of it. Make a history check with advantage. Why not?
15.
A 15. You know for a fact this does represent a bounty guild called the Pash.
The Pash. Do I know anything about the Pash?
It's a recently newly founded guild. Not much is known about them. From your experiences in the past, they don't necessarily have a leader, or you don't know of a leader. Normally there is someone who runs the guilds, and they normally are the law masters of the guild. But all you know is they are very fearless. Like, that is the only thing you've heard. Like, they are the type that will run into a dragon alone.
My kind of guy.
Well, how did you come across such a coin, Salvation?
Well, these scary dudes stopped me. They trying to proposition me. They asking what I do in city. I said I was looking for travel. They asked me where I'm going. I just said about a week north. And then they were saying that, well, we can help you get there. There's lots of ice giants. Ice giants are really scary. You need our help. And I was like, no, I think we can handle it. Thank you very much. We handle Yetis. Like, it's fine. I'm sure we can handle ice giant. And then they say, no, you cannot. You need us. I say, no, thank you very much. And then they give me this coin and say, if you change mind, go to this tavern place in Princhander and talk to them there. So I decided to take it, and I brought it back to you, hoping you would know who they were, because I did not want to agree to anything without you there, because I do not know anything about any of this.
Well, I mean, it's definitely not such a bad idea. You did the right thing. But I'm afraid I don't actually know too much about these people, but what I can tell you is that they're a newfound bounty group and called the Pash, and it's only recently that they've managed to since establish themselves. And, well, I mean, no wonder they said about not being too worried about a frost giant. I mean, sometimes they don't know fully what they're getting themselves into. They got balls bigger than their brain, if that makes any kind of sense.
That makes sense based on what I saw, yes.
Is that all they offer? Just men for hire?
Pretty much. They just said that they were sellswords, and they could offer a passage through the tundra, and they could get us to where we needed to go without getting killed. But I think we're probably fine. But I made sure to make sure and check them giving this coin did not put me any debt to them, and they promised it did not. So I guess it's worth keeping hold of just in case.
DM, would I know anything bad to do with coins? Whether it is like a sort of, we've given you the coin, sell your soul to the devil kind of thing, or is it just like, yeah, use this again and you're fine?
Yeah, so you would assume, basically, you know roughly how bounties work. You know how the guilds work. There are some makeshift guilds that have come and gone in the past that use all sorts of tokens for hire, for personal hire. There are more formal ways, such as scrolls and parchment, which are given to political leaders or some sort of hierarchy within the government. But when it comes to tokens, some of them use metaphorical tokens, like the sun. Some of the guilds use the physical tokens, like a leaf, a feather, a coin. It's just a symbol of a kind of business card, if you want to call it that.
Right, okay. No, Salvation, you hang on to that. You should be alright. just be careful who you flash it to. I mean, there are some guilds that don't like other guilds, and I don't know who the Pash might have pissed off or not pissed off, because they're, like I said, they're new established.
Okay, I will keep hold of it for now. I will keep it safe, and I'll like tuck it away in my pocket.
Yep. Add a Pash medallion to your inventory.
Pash medallion.
I'll try and get some artwork for it in a bit. Sentry comes back in as you see the door swing open. And Sentry, what did you need for Lugdalum?
I don't know.
You don't know. You had a list. You had a list of items to collect. You think that these represent what he's after, and you've seen them, but you just need to have further investigation into: is it the right one? Is it the right colour? Is it the right? Do you know what I mean? You're fairly confident you've found a few, but we can
So far, I've got 12 gold piece worth of the list. I'm not sure how much to complete the list gold piece worth, or
yeah.
yeah.
I would say you're confident in the fact that you've found something that represents what he's after. You would probably have to go back and get it verified by him.
Cool. So I think I've completed his...
You think you've got it, yeah.
Cool.
Add 20 gold piece of herbs that you need. You did a very good job in having a look, especially at the time you had. Spent a lot more time just having a look around outside, and this is quite a vegetated area in terms of like herbs and shrubs and things. There's a lot going on around here, so
Nice.
You should be able to top you up quite nicely.
Yeah. I've had all the bits and pieces, and just walking back in on just all of the.
You see Sentry walk back in with this kind of like larger stash of all sorts of herbs and things he's got poking out of pockets and wrapped around arms and things like that, and it looks, for someone who doesn't have facial expressions, he looks quite happy with himself.
And Salvation's back now as well, right?
Yeah, you see Salvation, you see everyone in the room, Batul's leaning against the wall, you see a very happy Athena, and the rest of you guys are just kind of like gathered around, attending to your own little businesses, doing what yourself do. I mean, there's not necessarily a tension, but everyone's keeping to themselves at the moment. There's no necessary attention to anything, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Was everything right in Targos Salvation?
No. I just told these guys what was going on. Everything's a little bit fucked, and I'm just gonna relay everything I said to the others to Sandra.
That's fine. So you go through, and she tells you everything. That the fact that the town's gone to shit, they found the bounty. She shows you the coin, I'm guessing.
Yep.
Yeah. And the Luskan Arms, the state of it, the board that's already smashed has been smashed again. Just all sorts of stuff going on there.
Did you mention about the caravans, the traveling caravans at the entranceway or anything?
I probably wouldn't have mentioned that.
No, I don't think it would be. Yeah, because it was in the question of Targos, wasn't it? So just outside, I don't think you would have mentioned it.
Cool. Right. Are you planning to get the 2 axe beats from the gentleman and then take the rest to Brim Shanda? Because I doubt they'd have 4 in Brim Shanda for everyone. Whereas if we get 2 here, they might have 2 in there.
Well, it looked like he normally have a lot more. He seemed to think that I could get all of them from the guy in Prince Shander, because if we go back for the 2 that he has, 1, I do not think he would want me to have them, because I may have mentioned where we were going and he got cagey. Apparently last time he gave axe beaks to adventurers, they kind of came back dead. And that's not good for business when your business is railing animals. So I do not think he will let us have them, especially not for a whole week, because there are other people that have been renting them out like a couple days at a time. So no. I think we have to just hope that there are many more in Enchanter.
Shall we just head to Brimshanda then?
I think that's what we should do. We've wasted enough here.
I think so too. What sort of time is it? Do we know? We know it's dark.
Who's
but
got
is
to-
it-
I know what time
Someone's
it
got a
is.
keen mind. I was going to say, yeah, you do.
I know.
Yeah, it's getting on. It's getting on 8-9 o'clock. We're feeling
Oh, quite
very, very
And
tired.
it's about 2 hours to Bryn Shander from here, isn't it?
So yeah, 2 hours it takes. So if you left now, you'd get there just before midnight, possibly. If it took you any longer time, especially in the dark, if you got lost, it could take you longer. It's obviously things you need to consider.
Did
Maybe we.
No, we'll pass it on.
Did you ask about if they were looking for anyone in particular? I know you were all worried that we wouldn't be able to have entrance back in. Did you find out anything for that?
I'm not going to lie. I did not ask. I did not want to raise suspicion, but I get feeling they do not know. All they know is Nerth was murdered and everything real bad since. The man at the tavern said that Nerth was kind of the only thing keeping everything together.
You mentioned, obviously, you said that you filled me in on all the details. Was there a militia name? Did you say sorry? 'Cause-
What was that?
yeah, when you were pondering through and you were at the tavern, you mentioned that there were somebody mentioned to you. I think Barkeep said.
Oh, yeah, so we're conflicting sides. No, I didn't get any names.
Ah, okay. Damn.
Sorry.
Sentry blows a fuse.
Hi,
Okay, so
okay.
so are you guys settling down or are you guys venturing out?
Yeah, what should we
Yeah,
do?
gonna settle down, I think.
Okay.
I think we sleep, go first thing in the morning.
Okay, so as you make your... Oh, sorry, go on.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, if, I think for going back to Tourmaline and giving them information on what's happening here, I would like to travel within Targos to glean more information.
We don't want to waste time. Though. We need to get to Bryn Shander and make our way.
You
We
can
can't
all
waste.
sleep. I don't need to.
I don't think you showing your face in Targus on your own is the best idea, Sentry.
He's got to find more windows.
Honestly, things there real bad. Like, I don't think any of us should go back into Targos right now.
I don't think it's a good idea. What if they capture you?
Very bad idea. Everything, everybody fighting everybody, shit flying everywhere, people like doing hard drugs in streets. Like, it's really not.
Well, if that's the case. Why did you
Meta
say
knowledge
that?
there, Ollie. Meta knowledge
The
there.
whole place is full of criminals and crackheads.
Yeah, I agree with Salvation. There's no point risking it when we could easily go find this cousin of his and get all the equipment we need from him.
Exactly. We maybe speak to Tourmaline and see if we can help when we get back, but we really need to find this wizard guy first. Sentry, please don't go marching off to Tourmaline in the middle of the night by yourself. We don't want you to die. I know.
I don't know what you're talking about. I won't venture off. We wake up, we just see footprints going in.
I didn't do that.
Sentry, promise you won't go off to Tourmaline by yourself in middle of night when we are asleep.
I could
It's
tie
the-
him to a pole. I could put a bell on him.
I think we take watches to make sure Sentry go nowhere, because I know what you are like. And you may be big metal man, but you are not invincible. So
It's okay. I'm awake for about 4 hours, so I can keep an eye on him.
That's true, yeah. You only have 4 hours of actual rest and 4 hours of meditation.
yeah, so if you try to
4
leave,
hours I
we
can
will
cover.
fuck you up.
So someone can sleep all night tonight.
Can I see anything in the room that would make noise if, like, tampered with?
Loads. There is so many metal objects in this room. Like,
Can I? What specifically
What are you trying to make? Let's just make this a bit more specific.
I'm just trying to make a system to where if Sentry moves about,
Yes.
it will
It's
make
fine.
noise.
It's fine. I'm gonna be setting an alarm around the room.
Okay. If you want to
okay.
do that, Saya, you have to make an investigation check, and then.
Hey, I want to be doubly sure. Fuck
Okay,
it.
make an investigation check.
I'll say anyone wants to do it.
Make an investigation check.
If
Yeah.
you believe.
Come on, 7.
No, you find nothing.
Fuck's sake.
You literally
Hey,
look round and
it's
there's a
like
few metal
combat.
poles and there's the same thing you looked at earlier to make the stake, and you're like, nope, and then you walked off.
Saya's having an off day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say you're a bit more distracted with what's going on, that you're not really thinking about. It's a good
Yeah.
idea, but you're like, I can't be asked.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Okay, yeah. The alarm circle is fine.
That's fine. Okay, so as we all make our way to rest in some way or another, or for the next length of the night, as we bed down with the campfire still roaring and the cider now gone cold, that's we're going to take a break, and we'll break, but you won't. You're just. You ready? I'm going to click. It's going to be. This is Ollie's editing. 1, 2, 3. And we're back. Hey!
Oh my god, that was scary, dude. That fucking
That's like.
out of things that the audience missed.
I mean,
Yeah.
there's like spells in D&D and then spells in real life, and you realise that it's just better to do it in D&D.
Spells of the
Ah, tricks. Anyway, yeah. So, as we left off, as we see everyone in this kind of like room, makeshift campsite with the kind of like benches put aside. You've got the sleeping mats out. The fire's kind of fizzling down a little bit now, and everyone's getting ready to turn in. Is everybody turning in?
I would have done the alarm spell, or the beds are up for about.
So you did the alarm spell for what? Sorry.
I'll be doing the alarm spell around.
Oh, you're breaking up a little bit. Sorry.
Hello.
Hey, hello.
Salvation has no active conditions. What?
I don't know how I did that. Sorry.
Might you want to turn your thingy up a little bit so you can. It's like
that any
cutting out,
better?
so- yeah, it's better. Yeah.
Okay,
we
cool.
did?
No, I'll just be doing the alarm spell around the room,
Okay.
and then be up for the next 4 hours.
Okay, so you cast your lines, the kind of lines on the floor with arcane runes, as they kind of like shimmer and then kind of flutter out of sight. And are you doing it around the perimeter of the door?
The perimeter of the whole entire
The
room.
whole room. Fantastic. So,
Yeah.
I mean, as you guys are bedding down, you can see Willow with the familiar kind of arcane patterns on the floor and placing these kind of like invisible lines down as she sets a alarm for you guys, as you've seen before.
Mm-hmm.
Is anybody doing anything else?
Wow, we were.
Oh, I guess I'll. Well, we were.
Yeah, just going into the centre portion of the room, I suppose, to make sure I've got eyes on everything around.
Okay.
Are there any? I suppose gathering the idea of the room. Are there any like windows or anything?
Yeah,
Or is it
so just kind of get the layout of the room, theatre of the mind and all that. So you're in a box room at the moment. Towards the back is like more of a rectangle where all of the bits and gear and all that kind of stuff is kept. And then kind of off to the left of that, just a little nook with the table. And then in the square bit, you're looking, let's just say the south side is where the fire is, and then the north side is where the door is. On the east side that's where one little window. It's not big, it's probably the size of probably about 3 or 4 inches wide. It's kind of a tiny peep hole kind of thing, just to see the outside. As you guess the elements outside, it's probably not the best to have large windows because of insulation issues. So some of these buildings do have smaller windows.
Cool.
That are made post the winter. Just a matter of interest, so you can normally tell. You would especially know this, Sentry. It's probably not general knowledge, but you would assume that the structure of the buildings have been made. Some of the new ones you could tell because of the size of the windows and the way that they're built, because of obviously the winter and the cold.
Yeah, just setting myself up then somewhere I can see everywhere.
Okay. I mean, you can easily make yourself comfortable in the middle. I would say directly opposite the door if you wish. Just going into standby mode. And would anybody like to do anything before they go to sleep? Or take a long rest?
I'm just gonna sleep.
Long rest.
Yeah, so you all kind of like nuzzle down, some of you cranking your necks on edges and things, and this is more of a makeshift night's sleep, probably less comfortable than the igloo underneath Kelvin's Cairn, but it's not exactly a hotel, it's not exactly the Blue Clam, but it is a smaller room. Is anybody taking any sort of watches, or are we all going to bed at the same time?
I'll be up in 4 hours.
Oh, you might want to just turn your mic up there again.
Sorry.
Oh no, it's because
you're on mute.
she's muted.
Okay,
Oh.
Well, hello there. I
Hello.
keep forgetting. No, I'll just use the first 4 hours to make watch, and then gather and sentry will probably do the other one.
Okay.
I'll just watch all the time, so.
So if anybody's making
Yeah.
watch at the start watch, would you like to make a perception check for me? Just as we go into the first part of the night as everyone kind of
A
nuzzles down.
perception check.
Yeah. At the moment, Batul is just nuzzling down by you, Salvation, kind of as close as possible. The way she's sleeping at the moment is more like hunched up in like crossing her legs and like falling asleep on a lap kind of thing. She's you'd assume she feels a bit uncomfortable. What did you get? Say your rolls.
11.
I got a 24.
You got a 24. With the 24, first kind of part of the night goes through a few kind of like cracks on the window, not like cracks, like bangs on the window from wind and kind of like you can hear the shaking of some of the building structure as it's quietened down now. The fire has dimmed. It's getting a little bit colder in here, not unbearable, but your own body temperatures are keeping this place kind of like to a certain temperature. But as you kind of like sit there and you can hear the kind of rocking of this cabin, slight shuddering of the door as it's blown and it's quite on hinge, but it's quite peaceful, quite calm, and fairly uneventful.
Cool.
Yeah, and you just sit there, obviously with your meditative, semi-conscious stance, and I would say 4 hours have gone by, and you fall into a sleep. Or
Yeah.
what you class as a sleep, anyway.
Yeah.
And yeah, before you just shut down for the night, you can see everyone's resting peacefully. And in fact, you've kind of like seen this now, and you can see it quite clearly that Athena is actually providing some sort of windbreaker from the underside of the door. You know those things you shove under the door? Yeah, Athena's like providing a very nice natural wind blocker from the underneath the door, the draft kind of thing. So you're quite thankful for that, and she kind of nuzzles every second and moans in a dream. You can hear her go like kind of
Just to remind you, Fraser, so it's her elves don't sleep, instead they meditate deeply, remaining semi-conscious for 4 hours a day. The common word for meditation is trance. While meditating, you can dream. After a fashion, such dreams actually mental exercises that have come reflected through the years of practice. After resting in this way, you gain the same benefit as a human does from 8 hours of sleep. So I only rest 4.
Yeah, so you are in a state of rest, but you're not asleep. But you're semi-conscious of the stuff that's going on around you. But you do.
Oh no, I'm fully conscious until my 4 hours, and then in that 4 hours I meditate, and then I wouldn't be able to do anything.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is that time just happens just before you start a deep meditation. Yeah. But yeah, you find yourself obviously in this deep meditation stance, very very similar to obviously you're familiar with what you normally do, and it is very uneventful until then. So yeah, I would say if that's everything, you all find yourself waking up one by one to the slight dim light or becoming dim light of the morning. And yeah, you start rising up one by one. Is anybody doing anything as they're waking up?
No, just
Putting on my warm clothing.
nice.
Ready to roll out.
It's fine. As long as one of you say it, I know that the rest of you got to say it. So it only takes one, because otherwise, why would you say I don't? Because you're gonna get a penalty. So basically, yeah, you all get up. You all kind of see the kind of just the ember and the kind of smoke coming off this fire in the chimney section, And the room is becoming a little bit lighter, and you assume it is now reaching the dawn or the morning time. And as you kind of like stand up and get up, you kind of put your armaments on, get yourself together, and yeah, you're ready for the day. Are we all heading out towards Bryn Shander?
It's correct.
Aye.
Sure are.
Amazing. So as you guys kind of like one by one step out, the last to leave is Batul, and she kind of like is a bit a bit nervous, a bit what do you call it? She's a bit in two minds of whether she wants to carry on or not with you guys. I mean, you can see very, very clearly now, Salvation, that she's like, am I in the right place, kind of thing. And that's the feeling you get. The rest of you just see her just being very to herself. But she's there as you all are heading out. And as you open the door, it's not necessarily a blizzard, but there is some snowfall, some flutter of snow. You can still see quite clearly. But the cold does hit you as you open, and yeah, as you step out that last step, Salvation, you look back and she's not moving.
Batul, are you coming with us?
I don't feel welcome in your group, Salvation.
I understand. But where will you?
Say that again, sorry.
I understand why, but where will?
I'm not sure. I don't know if I want to stay or go at the moment.
Well, stay with us to Nishander anyway. I mean, knowledge in what we're looking for.
Oh, just turn your mic up a little bit.
I've not changed anything, so it shouldn't be acting up.
Yeah, just some of the stuff you're just not picking up. She kind of turns around to you and goes, "Okay, I feel like a hindrance here, and I don't feel trusted. So I feel like perhaps I need to go back to Sea Matron."
Well, these guys can be a little untrustworthy anyway, but I mean, are you going to be in any trouble if you get back to the temple? I mean, what about finding the others?
Well, I need my brooch back for the proof. And besides that, they all they want is proof that the Arcane Brotherhood are working within Bryn Shander.
Okay, I understand. Who has brooch?
Willow took it from me last time I saw.
Okay. Are you sure you don't want to go to Bryn Shander just to help find out anything else to do with them, or?
I will come to Bryn Shander to see Belinda and tell her of what's happened, but I think that's where I will part.
Okay, I understand.
So she just follows you out, very hesitant. Kind of closes the door, shuts with a creak. As you step out into the kind of snowy, but windy, but not blizzard, kind of tundra, and you make your way towards Bryn Shander.
Yes.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Straight there.
Straight there, like beelining. Can I have your marching order, please, as we head our next flight?
Sandwiched in the middle.
Going at the back.
Oh, dim and Neil won't go to the front.
I'll be second, I
I'll
suppose.
be somewhere.
I'll be somewhere.
Okay, so the... Let's see that on the map. Yeah, so the short journey towards Targos to Bryn Shander, as you kind of found out and aware, is roughly 2 hours. And there is a trodden path, or a shallower path, let's just say. It's not necessarily trodden, as snow continuously keeps covering this path. But you kind of find a path leading from Targos, and you assume this is the right direction. Yeah, you guys are literally just making your way on the track. And as you do, you can see other patrons just moving around you left and right, and past you can see a few snow dogs and As you're kind of like about half an hour into the walk, you can see more and more races that you aren't necessarily seeing within Icewind Dale. So you walk further on, you see a half orc, an orc. You can see, which some of you don't recognise. Some of you have seen them for the first time. Some of you have seen them for a long time. Seen different people wearing different armaments and clothes and attire, and you kind of get a sense of a feeling that the people that are going into this city, or the city that you've heard of, is probably a bit more diverse in its culture, rather than just having the odd human and the odd tiefling and possibly a gnome or a dwarf. And you can see carts and all sorts coming from and to as you pass. Would you guys like to do anything, or were you walking?
How far away are we from... Can we see Bryn Shander now?
You can't see it just yet. You know you're about just over an hour away. It's in the distance. You can see a road and a small horizon, as it's quite a clear day, and you can see in the distance just this road with people coming off and on it, and you can see to the side, to the left and the right, just white plains. The odd kind of like bird flies past and a small hare here or there, but nothing else. It's just a white plain with a path towards where you're going.
Okay, as I get closer, I'll pop my mask and my hood on.
Okay, you can do that, no issue.
I'll if we're passing a caravan of sorts, I'll try and just held them down whilst they're going past. Just to ask them.
So you're trying to stop a cart, a shipment or a cart, or what are you trying to
Yeah, just a fellow on a cart that's travelling on by.
Okay, yeah, so you can basically see this next cart coming towards you from a distance. And in it, or by it, is an unhooded tabaxi, older kind of looking figure with kind of like greys and blacks as it comes closer to you, and you can see the fur's kind of like bit scraggly and a bit wet, and he comes up to you, and he's just starting to walk past you now, just trotting along with his cart.
Sorry, I don't mean to impede on your journey.
Oh,
Have you come from Bryn Shander?
yes, I've come from Bryn Shander.
How fares the news there? What is the city like?
Well, well, what do you mean? It's the same as it always has been.
Which is?
Hustle and bustle. Plenty of food, plenty of wine, if that's your thing.
Where are you travelling to now?
Oh, I'm dropping off a cart of wine to my goddaughter. She's starting her own business. I'm helping her out. Why'd you ask?
Just
he kind of looks at you a bit closer now, because he's kind of looking at you a bit. You've had a conversation for longer than a minute or so, and he kind of like looks at you and goes, "You look a bit strange there, fellow. Where are you from?"
round from Termini. Sentry, pleasure to meet you. I'll reach up to him.
It's Termline, you say. Ralphus is my name. Nice to meet you.
Ralphus. Okay. Go on.
No, it's Karen.
Okay. Be careful around Targos. It's a little bit ropey at the moment, I believe.
Well, times like this, and especially with the Frost Maiden coming here, there, and everywhere, and freezing everybody to death, nothing scares Ralphus anymore. I just do my thing. I just like my wine, help my family. That's what I do.
Very nice.
Yeah.
I'm getting those vibes.
If you're in Termini, I'd suggest going to the Blue Clam. It's,
The Blue Clam. We dropped off a shipment there not so long ago. How is Vernon? Vernon, is it Vernon? Yes.
Doing well. Last we spoke with him, but the town's coming up. I'd visit again for trade.
Well, I sure to pass on the message, Sentry.
Sentry Dawn.
Sentry Dawn. Dawn it is, and late I am. I must go. And he kind of just trots
Just
on.
wave me.
Yeah.
Yep. Continue on past.
It belongs to the Nords.
See if we can get any Skyrim.
It is so right.
The arrow
It's
in the
not-
knee is coming. Don't you worry, guys. The arrow in the knee is coming. And he just trots on. You hear his cart squeaking, and you hear the bottles kind of go as he walks past, and he sees into the distance. And he kind of, you would assume this person is probably quite popular, especially with alcoholic needs and beverages, as about 2-3 feet away from you, maybe 10 feet away from you. So you hear a hello, and he goes, "Oh, hello," and he kind of walks back. You see him doing welcomes to everyone. You seem to have posted down quite a popular wine tradesman. So
Mike.
Any name on the slide? Any indication as to the name of the
as he's
wine?
gone past, make a perception check with disadvantage.
Uh, 10.
10? Nope.
Okay.
Too
Keep
fast, too skittish, and this guy's on a mission. You were just focused on him.
Yep.
But yeah, it looked like good stuff. From the kind of passing, the bottles were nicely packaged up. So you'd assume some sort of maybe higher end liquor.
How?
Quick question.
Yes.
Okay.
Sorry. I forgot I'm a wizard, and I forgot I need to do
Happens.
loads of shit, and it's been a while.
Happens.
Any chance I could have copied down a spell last night when in my 4 hours?
Yes, I would say that you would have done that naturally anyway.
Thank you. How many could I have done?
How many do wizards normally do?
I can for each level of the spell, the process takes 2 hours and costs 50 gold pieces. Unless it's transmutation, it takes half the time and half the cost.
Okay, so is it the parchment you need?
Oh no, I've got parchment in that. I'm just wondering if, like last night, I could have. In my 4 hours of not doing anything,
Yeah.
I could have.
You could have done 2 spells in 4 hours, yeah.
Cool. Thank you. Just curious.
No, you would have done that naturally anyway. That's what Willow
I would have
done.
told you, but I forgot I was a
That's
wizard.
fine. I would assume you would have done that. That's cool.
But the people were on drags.
I will make sure that in the future I would tell you. Otherwise, I don't do it. So.
As you guys are walking down, the only person who's getting any sort of attention is Jackal and Athena, as they're not used to seeing a halfling riding a cat. Are you riding Athena,
Meow.
Oshun, or are you just walking by?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, you ride it.
riding
And
that.
I will say now, Jackal, this saddle is comfortable. It is a dream, and sitting on it for the first time, you can feel the kind of support on your back from the pommel, which is the back of the saddle, which is with this fluffy kind of rim which curves around your back, and then you've got this kind of like sides with the etched in teeth, as well as this kind of like very nice giving tanned silk seat, which is really cool. So yeah, it's
I
a
swear,
very welcome
DM, if you take the saddle away from me, then Jack was going to come out the screen and stab you.
Sounds about right. We'll see. But yeah, you are getting some
We'll see.
looks from passing by traders, people who are like just giving you a double take and kind of like, it's probably not the weirdest thing they've seen, but it's definitely weird.
Nice.
Can we
Jackal would just do like the gentlemanly thing of just giving like a nod at anyone who's staring a bit too much, just like a friendly nod.
Yeah, absolutely. And not too far into it, you see a few people riding some axe beaks who are. It's kind of a weird thing when riding an axe beak, because instead of a trot on a horse, you kind of get this sway. But with these axe beaks, it's kind of like a waddle, like that. So you're always kind of waddling because the way that the feet move, and they kind of like slow down to a slow pace, and they kind of look at you and go, "Morning." And they
Hello.
Look at you, Jackal, and wave morning to you. Do you do anything?
Good morning. Where have you friendly travelers come from?
From Bryn Shander. Yeah, we're you're riding a crag cat.
I am, and she's a mighty fine crag cat at that. I'll tell you more information about the cat if you can just pass some friendly information about Bryn Shander. I'm afraid we're quite new to these parts.
Oh, well, yeah, sure. If you're new, I assume you've got lottery tickets by now.
We do indeed.
Yes, and you're aware of the sacrifices to Uriel, yes?
Yes, we are in... Each town has a slightly different thing going on.
Yes. Well, if you're new, and just a heads up, it's probably in a few days, so just keep an eye on the days and the full moon, and when the full moon rises, that's when you know you need to present your lottery ticket to the speaker.
Well, that's brilliant. Thank you very much. I don't suppose, being an educated traveler such as yourself, you know exactly how many days the full moon might be away from us?
We're looking about probably 5 days or so.
5 days. And anything else you can kindly tell us about Bryn Shander before I let you on your travels?
What can't I tell you about it? It's busy. Food's good, wine's good.
Any local cuisines you recommend going to? Local bars, taverns, friendly faces?
Well, and he looks you up and down, kind of through your mask, and goes, "You're a person who knows your way around a sword, I'm guessing."
I try my best.
You could go see the fine folks at the Black Iron Blades, which is the smithy. You can see Elsa. She sorts my friends out from time to time. But she I mean, they also sell all sorts of goods if you're looking to, find yourself a new pair of shoe boots or snow boots, and ice picks, cold weather gear, things like that. But for swords, you need to see her brother Garn, and they're very good with anything you need in terms of blades. Or if you need anything fixed, as he looks you up and down. And by now, your guys, in terms of armaments and weapons, some of them are looking a bit battered from the fights you've been in. And he goes, well, could fix your stuff up a little bit, possibly. I don't know. I'm not an expert. I don't know what I'm talking about.
Don't you worry, friend. I appreciate that you're only trying to help. I'm looking for some new armor, funny enough, so would these people be able to kindly sort me out for the right coin?
Oh, absolutely. I would say, probably the best place in the 10 towns.
Fantastic. And sorry, just lastly, where exactly might I find these kind of people in Bryn Shander? Which part?
Well, you can find the Black Iron Blades towards the centre of town. If you haven't been, it kind of X's off in the middle, you see. It goes to 4 crossroads. You are coming to the North Gate. The North Gate will take you straight to the centre if you carry on down the direct route of the main path. But make sure you pass by the North Look. It's rather busy at this time, and you get a mighty good wine if you're into that kind of thing. Gives you a wink.
You're being mighty helpful, my friend, as I'm just going to flick him a gold coin. Safe travels to you.
He kind of tries to catch it and it falls on the floor. And he dismounts. He dismounts from his axe beak as soon as he goes, oh, and you can see now it's kind of like an older, mid-aged looking chap. He's got longer brown hair coming over one eye. Kind of looks at you and goes, is this for me?
It is for you indeed. A bit of knowledge for some ale money. How about that?
Oh, absolutely. What was your name?
My name is Jackal, friend. It's a pleasure to meet you.
Franklin. Quite a nice person to meet, I suppose, on the road. But I must get going. We've got business to attend to elsewhere. But thank you so much for the gold. I can't thank you enough.
Oh, and thank you very much for the knowledge. Safe travels, friend.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah! And he kind of kicks on the axe beak and he waddles off with his compatriot. You see him waddle off in the distance. And I would say by now, roughly about an hour and a half has gone by, and Willow, you see in the distance the large walls starting to appear in the distance, around a kind of narrow bend over a small mound, next to a few kind of edged bits of trees, or what's left of the trees. Just peering over, you see a 30-foot high wall, you would guess or estimate, which is quite large in size and breadth. You can see this peering round the vista of what you can see. That this city is probably 3 times or 4 times as big as Targos. It is a huge city.
Nice.
And as you guys kind of approach, unless you're not doing anything else, you can see now that the wall is made out of more kind of intricate stone and wood, with ramparts on each side. As you can see all at the top. I mean, everyone make a perception check for me, please. Just to see what you can see.
20.
16 for Jackal.
1.
Did anybody get over a 17?
Hang on, I've not done mine yet.
Oh,
So
5.
Perception. Where is it?
Just so I'm not
That's
looking
a
at my
7.
phone, just to make it easier.
God damn it.
So I
Bad
would say
roll.
that, yeah, Sentry sees this only. And what you see, Sentry, is just looking at one of the ramparts, you can see just people just walking backwards and forwards. And you assume these are guards. But you are not used to such a grandiose scale of building, or especially defences. Especially with people going backwards and forwards. And you can assume that this is a guard, obviously security or armour or militia, sorry, on the ramparts. But yeah, you notice that it's quite heavily defended. And as you guys make your way closer, you can see the queue to this place is ginormous. And in fact, the traffic starts to slow down to a point of where you assume you are in the queue. And you are still 200-300 feet away from this place. And you assume it's going to take some time to get through. Probably short parts of 20 minutes, maybe half an hour. It is still moving, but very slowly.
Cool.
Would you guys like to do anything while you're in the queue?
I'm
And can I
going
just
to
have your
look
march-
around, see if...
Just march it on one more time. Sorry, just so I
sorry.
can note it down. Sorry, you go.
I'll be up front, and I'm also going to be looking around to see if anyone's, like any of the guard security services in particular, are paying certain attention to us, or if it's just like as if they're checking out everyone.
Okay, yeah. Make a perception check. Can I have the next marching order, please? So Jackal's first.
It was me.
Say it. Yeah.
And it's a 17 for my perception.
I will try and go behind Sentry because I'd like to do some.
Okay,
Hold
so
on.
I've got Jackal Sayer. Who's next?
I'm guessing Salon Bottle.
I was thinking we would be right at the back, or did you say you wanted to be at the back?
Oh, you can go at the back if you want. Yeah, I'll go in the middle of them.
Okay, so Jackal Sayer, Sentry Willow, Salam Batul.
Yeah.
Them.
Cool, good to know. With your perception check, Jackal, you can see as you come a little bit closer now, so about 10-15 minutes have gone by, and in front of you is just a large cart. Trying to see past it is sometimes a bit annoying, and the cart's being led by a few patrons, human males. You can see them just talking amongst themselves, and you kind of look forward, and what you can see straight in front of you is a very simple layout of a 2-tier entry system with 2 kind of like ticket checkers that you saw in Targos. Very, very familiar. There's nothing else in terms of like extra security or bag searches. It is literally a simple ticket down in system, or if you've got more questions, there's another aisle to go to, kind of thing. It's almost like customs in an airport. You got your passport or you haven't. If you haven't, then you need to get something.
Right.
So good. I will just have my papers ready for the entrance.
Cool. Okay. If everyone's just waiting to enter, I will basically say, let's zoom time up a bit, and you're becoming closer and closer. If anyone wants to do anything, it's literally just shuffling forward at the moment, like an entry to Alton Towers.
What's the queue like?
What do you mean by like?
So, like, is it one of those Alton Towers sort of queues where it's just hundreds of people bunched together and you're kind of like in the middle of the crowd, or is it like a single queue?
Yeah, pretty much bunched single file, ready to go in.
And how far are we away from the gate?
It's been a few minutes now, and you're probably about 50 feet away, I would say. So as you're becoming closer to this, you can see the height of these walls, and they are massive. Like, if you were to scale these and fall from them, you would probably do some serious damage.
Okay. When I get close enough, but not too close so that people can see, I'm going to put my head down, because I've still got my mask and my hood on.
Yes, you have.
And then as I touch my mask, I'm going to cast Disguise Self.
Okay.
And make myself into Chica.
Okay, you do. Obviously, this is
woman.
So you're doing this in an enclosed space. So I wouldn't make you roll a stealth check.
I'm gonna be like put my head down.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be behind Sentry when I do it.
Yeah, you can do that.
But I'm gonna do it literally as we're about to go in, so that
Okay.
I've got longer to have it. If that makes
Okay, and
sense.
who are you going to turn yourself into again?
Chica, the red-headed old woman that I turned into for Targos.
Okay, cool. Good to know.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you become closer, so it's 40 feet, 30 feet, 20 feet, and now you can kind of see the start of the queue, and it's coming shortly to the cart in front of you's turn, and you can hear, "Next, please!" And you
I'll do it then.
Yeah, so you then do your spell, yeah, and you
For a
turn...
description,
Yeah, give me a
it's
description.
an older human woman with bright ginger hair and pale skin, damaged by the weather, with green eyes.
Nice, nicely done. Yeah, and you do. You're that person. Did you make anybody aware you did it before you did it?
No.
Okay, so you see in front of you, I would say because of the marching order, and obviously because you're a bit
I
squishy.
still have my mask on, by the way. It's just I'm changing the underneath.
Got you. Okay, cool.
So that everyone still sees, like, I'm looking exactly the same, just face is different, but they don't see that just yet.
So,
'cause- yeah.
Sal, I would say you see this happen.
Cool.
And you
All of a
recognise
sudden, red.
you recognise that she has cast some sort of incantation that's changed her appearance, and you can see this magical energy just flows, and it's almost like you can see the whites of her hair just go red, like it just kind of fades over like a drape. Quite pretty to see, but it's quite weird. Yeah, she's basically another person right now.
Okay.
Batul kind of saw this as well and looked round and went, is it Velen again?
I mean, you have been here before, like, a few days ago, right?
Yes, but I'm scared to show my face again and name.
Then... Yes.
I did not have to. There was not anybody at the door when I came in last time. We snuck in.
Oh, I see. Right. Okay. Yes, you are going to need lottery tickets, so... Yes, that's probably best. Who's right in front of me?
Willow.
Willow. Yeah, I'm gonna lean into Willow and really quietly. By the way, Batu is now Velen. Pass it on.
Okay. I'll pass on to Sentry, or attempt to.
Why?
You can change name.
I'm just gonna, like, because Sentry's so tall, I'm gonna go, because I'm gonna change my voice as well. I'm gonna go, Sentry, just to let you know, Battle is now. Fuck, what was her name?
Velen.
Villain.
Villain. This is gonna be like Chinese whispers. More and more.
Turns to Dave at the end.
Is Dave?
Pass it on, and I'll get down.
Why is she now villain?
The same as why I'm Chica, because it's
What?
human sacrifices here.
Oh.
Pass it on, but quietly. Shh.
Wait, what was my name?
I thought that she'd been here before.
I don't know. I've just been told.
Are you okay to him?
Pardon?
Villain? I'm speaking like half over to possible.
What did you say, sorry? To Bethel? I couldn't hear you.
Are you fine in here, villain?
I still can't. Sorry, mate.
You're
Yeah,
cutting out, Luke.
Getting a bit of feedback.
Are you fine in here, villain?
Oh, that's my name.
I'm literally struggling to hear what you're saying. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you're cutting out really badly,
Yeah.
Luke.
I don't understand how. It's literally fine. I hear
Let
it.
me mute myself, see if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Is that fine now?
Yeah, you're good.
Yeah,
Okay. Bloody hell.
I think they were cancelling each other out.
Yeah.
Are you okay to come in here, villain?
Okay. And she kind of turns to her and goes, I don't know. We snuck in last time.
Do you know why you had to sneak in?
It was not my idea. It was Freya's idea. She has abilities to make people unseen, and we got past this, but not from this side. We entered from another direction.
Okay. You. I'll turn back round. Saya, Ottul is now villain.
She's now
No.
violin. Okay.
Oh!
I tap Jackal's shoulder.
Yeah. Tap Jackal's shoulder. Yeah. Well, actually, no. You tap Athena unless you want to jump up and tap his shoulder.
Oh, I tap Athena
Athena looks around and goes,
and kind of signal to get Jackal to look at me. Or
Yeah,
Ben.
Jack will also look behind, seeing that Athena's looked behind.
yeah. You just see Sayers with his arm poking out like this.
Which is now called violin.
What? Batul's playing the violin? Why is Batul playing the violin? We're trying to lay low here.
Chinese fucking wizards, man.
I'm gonna silent speech back to Batul and say, "Stop playing the violin. We're trying to lay low."
Oh, this is worth it.
She receives it and looks straight towards you, recognizing the voice, and goes,
I tap and go, no, she's now called Violin.
Oh, okay.
She wants a secret name,
I'm just-
obviously. I don't know why. It's a weird name. I don't know why they want that.
Villain, violin. Here we are.
I didn't realize you could choose your own name. People usually just call me Metal Man. Are you supposed to choose what people call you?
Oh no, with confused Sentry.
Sentry, you can be called Banjo.
I thought we already had fake names when we went in here.
"You all do have fake names, and you have signed
Yeah.
them, and
I
they're
have
on your
my fake name
papers."
here.
Yeah.
I don't have
I've got my fake name. My fake name is where is it? Here we go. It's Saint Seagull.
Seagull.
I don't think Izzy was here when I made that name.
I was not. No, I was
no,
right.
you.
Okay, so you hear the voice become louder. "Papers, please, papers."
I'm
And
assuming.
you see the
are we at the front?
you see the cart being ushered forward, and the next desk towards him is going, "Papers, please, papers," and he's ushering you on, Jackal.
Yeah, Jack will move forward, slam the papers down on the desk, and say, "James Stevenson, pleasure to meet you."
James Stevenson.
Okay, next, come on, yes, next, papers, please.
Is it me? Oh,
So next up is Saya.
I put my. I'm trying to think of a voice. What I would do. I might steal another character's voice. Fuck it.
Got him.
Put my papers down and go. Hey, Saint Seagull. My name is Saint Seagull.
He kind of like gives you a bit of a weird kind of side eyebrow and goes,
You're making fun of my accent, you son of a bitch.
"Is that a threat?"
No,
I was just wondering. Why don't I have to be curious around here?
"Are you fit to enter the city?"
Are you judging me off my voice?
And he looks at your paper and looks at you and goes, "We'll be keeping an eye on you."
What did I do? I'm serious. What did I do?
And he just goes, "Walk on. Papers, please."
That wasn't very nice.
As he comes by. Way to lay low, seagull.
You hear this as Jackal, as you go towards Jackal in the entrance, and you see him as you walk past him. You hear him mutter that just under his skin.
Oh, what do you mean? I had to put an obvious fake accent on, like you did. Yours was obviously fake. Am I not allowed to make fun of you?
No, I think you need some practice.
He ushers on the next person, which is Sentry.
I don't have any papers. Mine were lost along the way.
You're new to the city?
Yes, yeah.
Okay. He kind of gets a blank bit of parchment out, very similar to what you've seen before. And he goes, "Right, as you probably know, blah, blah, blah," and he goes on about how the sacrifices are at full moon, how it's in the next 5 days. You keep a copy, I keep a copy. Here's your number and sign signature. And he goes, "Can you write your name there, please? And we'll sign and we'll keep it. Thank you."
Nice. For this city, I shall be Dinglehorn Digby, as I am Digby Dinglehorn Dargos.
Oh no!
And he kind of looks at the paper and goes, I can't even pronounce that, right? Yeah, sign, thank you. Alright, enjoy your stay. Don't get into trouble. If you get into trouble, we'll kill you, and then Frostmaid will kill you anyway. Right, bye. Make sure she's you want.
Yep.
Next, please, papers. Papers. And
Get my out.
next is Willow, yeah. And kind of, what can I do for you, young lady?
Name's Chica.
Do you got
Here's
papers,
the papers.
please?
I'll get my papers out.
Looks at it and looks at you and goes, "Right, next, papers, please." And next is Sal.
Hello. I got new potato.
These guys aren't getting suspicious, but that guy's suspicious of me? Come on.
This is literally Salvation trying to do an accent.
Oh my, you're putting an accent. You're stacking accents here. This is great.
I'm a Russian person trying to do a light voice.
It's breaking the fourth wall.
My name Olga. Dude, I'm crying. I've been trying to hold it together, trying to think of how I was going to play this. And this is the only thing I could come up with.
He kind of like shrieks his ears like that of how high pitched your voice is and goes, "Right, next please, papers."
Thank you.
And then you see a very shy Batul kind of like shuffle up and go, I'm new to the city. And he goes, "I see you're new. Like I've told your friend, I'm guessing you're with him as you've entered all together. Papers, we can give you them. Just write your name on there, sign contract." Goes through all the stuff, the bits that went through with Sentry. Put your name on there, your number, this, and this. Your number, this, and this. And he kind of pulls it back and goes, thank you. And he goes, "You're welcome. Next, papers, please." And Batul walks in. And she goes, and she kind of looks at you, Salvation, and just with shocked eyes, like.
Sal just sort of goes,
Like, nods. Walks in. Shuffles in towards you, and you find yourself in this built-up, very eccentric city. Something of which some of you haven't been in for a long time or a while, probably since the south, since entering Icewind Dale or the territories of Icewind Dale itself. You see around you that obviously the walls kind of dwarf over you as you can see this giant structure of kind of like elevated stone, iron and wood go around you. And walking through, you see dirt and rubble and pathway with people passing left and right, with all sorts of races, all sorts of different clients, people, merchants, sellswords. You can see this kind of towering building or stacks on buildings. So you can see like these taverns, and then it's almost like they built a tavern on a tavern, and then these other structures poking out, which held up with structures and poles and beams, and it kind of like rises to some of the buildings are about 3 stories high, and you come through, and this place is absolutely bustling, and something of which is quite intimidating for most of you, but for you city folk, you're very much used, and it is quite a comforting sight. What would you like to do as you enter?
Well, where are we first going?
To wherever this cousin guy is, I suppose.
Are we getting axe peaks first, or are we doing that last and go find this Baldoro first?
I say let's go and search for the first bit of shopping that we need, all of the little bits that we can collect and carry on ourselves, and then go and see the bottle and finish it off with the axe beaks.
Okay.
That
Okay.
sounds like
What?
fun.
And we all need supplies, so why don't we just allow each other an hour to split off, do our things, then we can meet up, get the X beats, and see Baldora.
Sounds like a plan to me.
I'm going to drop the viewers just on a view of Bryn Chandler so everyone can see what we're talking about.
As we're walking in, is obviously there's probably going to be guards, but is like, can I basically see who's in, like guards, like different sorts of people, and see if there's any sort of like crowd or individuals that stick out?
Yeah, any individuals you're looking for in particular, or just anyone?
Just cloaked figures, guards, people of higher status.
Someone who's kind of like keeping the city intact.
Yeah, and
Okay.
people who are being shady.
Yeah, just give me a sec.
Thank you.
So make a perception check for me.
It's an 11. No.
An 11, that's fine. We'll just get some.
Fraser, sorry, are we supposed to be seeing this map as well that's on stream?
You guys can have a look at it. It's not a secret. It's just one of those ones where just the viewers can see it. But yeah, you don't know obviously what's going on or where things are. But this is just a general overview. Meta knowledge,
cool,
you
cool.
wouldn't really know what it is. Anything I
No,
don't
cool,
share
cool.
on your screen, you don't know. Just give me a sec. Ah, there it is. Is it that? Okay, yeah, so basically looking around, and with a... What did you get with your perception, sorry?
An 11.
An 11. With an 11, you can see basically guards are posted out regularly in this place. So as you entered, you can see these militia, very similar to militia that you've found in other cities, but these, towns, these militia are much more well prepared for any sort of battle. And you would assume that it probably is a higher ranking town due to its kind of like army built in with it. And you can see that there are sets of different kind of guards every other like 50, 60 feet, if that. You see an emblem, which I'll share with you later, which is a picture on each of their chest plates. And some of them have got it on their shoulder, and there are flags dotted around everywhere on this grey banner flicking around in from the walls, from some of the shops. And it is a picture of a corn, kind of like a corn stem. A bright orange corn stem with antlers just on the top in black, and you can see this posted on these banners that are flickering around and on their armors, and you would assume that this is the signet of Bryn Chandler.
Cool.
I will share with you the artwork later, as for some reason it's not moving in mine. But yes. In fact, let me just show it to you, see if you can see it. Just roll 20 spinning it with. Right, can anyone see anything in their journal? Or is it not coming up? Should say Bryn Shander art handout.
Yeah, got it here.
Yep.
Can you see anything?
Yeah.
Yes.
It's
Awesome.
in the player art hand.
Ah,
So if you can see it, that's what you see.
Cool.
Yes.
Yeah, so you walk through, and you can almost kind of like get a sense of this hustle and bustle as you've stopped immediately, but you can basically feel yourself getting pushed to a side, almost like a gutterage of this single file paths in and out. But as you enter, it doesn't take you long, and especially some of you who are more attuned to it, especially Batul, who has been here before, you can hear the rocking glasses and shouting and cheering of a nearby tavern. Would you guys like to approach, or the road past it to the middle or to the centre, where, for example, the patron told you about the Black Iron Blades, and the centre of the hustle and bustle is going that way anyway, but you have to pass this building.
Yeah, Jackal's gonna head that way.
Okay.
Yeah, sure.
So you all head that way, that's fine. And as you get a little bit closer, Batul comes to you, Salvation, and she says, "That's it. That's the North Look."
oh, that is where you saw Pokemon.
Yes, that's the place.
Right.
And she kind of like stutters a bit and kind of like looks around, and you can kind of see the bustle of this place is kind of, it's like almost, you know what the Blue Clam is like when it's busy, but this is busy, like it's out the door busy.
Do we want to avoid this place?
I'm going to stop seeing how busy it is.
Okay, and as you kind of approach, you can see this central kind of like square box stone room with other wooden rooms coming off it from the outside, and you can see windows coming on in, and on the inside you can hear music and strumming of instruments, chanting and cheering, and on the top it says the North Look with a picture of a bull underneath.
Do we want to mark this as a place for us to meet should we get lost?
Sounds good to me. But I'm gonna split off, find some.
I think this.
If anyone wants to come with me, feel free.
I think this place might have some shady character. I don't know whether it is best to avoid and find a different meeting. This is where Battle Sorry Arcane Brotherhood in there.
Where should we meet then?
I think we'll be alright as long as we don't meet inside. Perhaps just meet around this kind of area. It seems to be like a good center point.
Okay, but do not go inside, just in case.
Yeah, we'll stay out.
Plan.
That's understood.
And as you kind of go past it, and you, Batul kind of tugs your arm, Salvation, and she comes to you and goes, Beldora is that way.
Okay.
And she points to an alleyway just going off the to the left-hand side of the north.
Inside check.
I think Jackal and Willow want to see her first as well. So maybe we wait until we can all together.
If it's all the same to you, I'd rather just go. As I said to you earlier, I don't feel comfortable with this party.
Can we hear?
Very, very quietly. She's saying this almost to her face, so you wouldn't hear it necessarily. She's being very quiet and persistent. In fact, make a perception check first if you want to listen to it. Anything higher than, I would say, a 10, you would hear.
12.
13.
Yeah, so you would hear it, yeah. What's your passive perception, by the way? Actually, you would have heard it anyway.
15.
Yeah, ignore me. Didn't make a roll. You would have heard that anyway.
The insight check for it's down that way. For that
Yeah, so 21. She seems truthful.
I'm going to stop. And I'll tug Jackal's the sleeve. There, that's the word, sleeve. And then walk over to Batul
Okay, yeah.
I know you don't like me too much, and I do apologise. I should have apologised earlier, but will you need to come with you to go and see Dora, but only me and Jackal,
You gotta go close to your mic, Chloe.
or...
Yeah.
Is this any better?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my god, my mic's shit.
It's just the what do you call it? The noise
I've changed it like 50 times.
I know. We got to find a sweet spot, but it's cool. Carry on.
Yeah. Anyway, what did you hear? So I don't have to repeat my whole sentence, or did you not hear anything?
I heard about the be trustworthy. Apologise for earlier. And,
yeah. So I apologise for earlier, and I'll say only me and Jackal can go with you to Baldora, but would you like to go now? To go and see her, and then we can give you your space and whatever you need, or would you like to do it later and grab some supplies? We head off.
If it's okay for you, we need to go now.
That's fine. Jackal, are you happy to go now?
Batul, why so urgent?
Because of the mission I'm on and the Arcane Brotherhood. If it is urgent, my mission is to go and see and report back, and I need to speak to Baldora to see if there's any more information, and if there's any more activity going around, and then I can report back to my temple. If I don't do that and I leave it too late and things happen, then I've failed on my mission.
Right.
Might be useful, I suppose, to see this.
Let's get a move on then.
Okay. So, I mean, at this point, Battle is like saying, he's pointing that way, and she starts walking that way as well, because she's almost familiar with the streets a little bit.
I'll keep up with pace with her, but I'm still in my form.
Yeah. And at this point, did your cloak have a hood? It did, didn't it?
It did, yeah.
So she puts a hood up as well at this point.
Cool.
And she kind of.
Oh, that's right. I don't have my coat on, so I'd have my mask on, but I wouldn't have the hood on because I don't have.
The coat she gave you did have a hood, but it's tattered. It's like a bit.
Oh, is it like that? Really shaggy
it's
coat?
like a shawl,
okay, that's fine.
but it's got like a hood, makeshift hood on it.
Oh, that's fine then. I'll have the hood on from there.
Yeah. Okay. So she's wearing this quite elegant hood, and she kind of puts it up, and then kind of like gives a wave and goes like that, and kind of like goes come on.
Yeah.
Can I do a perception check to check around my surroundings, see if there's any like shops that will be useful to me?
Yeah, make a perception check.
Cool. Perception. 23. Finally, a good roll.
23.
I think that's not even that significant.
The only thing unfortunately, I mean, it's a great roll, but the only thing you see with a 23 is in the distance, just before you make the turn to the right, from the left-hand side of the north look, you can see a sign in the middle, which states Black Iron Blades, and it says there's a sign. There's all sorts of signs on there, such as like alchemists and foot spas and all sorts of different things. But you see the word Black Iron Blades.
All right,
and you
I'll
think,
go Black Iron Blades, I suppose. Why not?
So you're heading to Black Iron Blades.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So you just head straight on, and everyone. Who's veering off to the right with Batul?
I am.
Jack Liz.
I am.
Okay, so the rest of you are basically just following Batul, and
by myself. All right.
you got to do what your character does, man. If your character wants to go alone, he is a quite alone solo character.
Yeah, that's fair. I just didn't expect everyone to just still follow her.
Sorry.
So near enough, you just bend a right, go down this kind of not an alleyway, but it's like a smaller street, and you can see basically there's all sorts of like different things going on in terms of like there's buildings that are higher than others, and it kind of gets raggeder and more jagged, and the buildings become a bit more not corrupt, but a bit more kind of lower end to the ones you saw on the entrance, and the floor starts to become a bit sodden and a bit more muddy, and you can hear your feet going, and there's less cobble paths, and she kind of ushers you on and goes this way, and she kind of like ushers you down. And as you're passing, you can basically... in fact, everyone make a perception check. See what you can see.
Except for me, I assume.
Except for you, because you're not there.
It's a 20.
That's a 20, yeah. Did everyone want to just say that? Yeah. No,
Oh, hang on.
Oh, good.
21.
21.
21, 22.
Okay, anyone who basically passed over a 17, you can see that these have become less shops.
Oh.
So they're not so more like shops. They're more buildings and people of residence and more shantytown-esque. And
With that roll, by the way, do
Yes.
you mind if I look around for any prying eyes?
okay, what kind of prying eyes would you like?
Just anyone looking
Just
at
anyone. Okay.
Just a general.
I mean, you go in for about another minute or so, and I would say that it doesn't take you long until Jackal, you have to now dismount Athena to the point of where it's probably not safe for her to go in because it's too wide, if that makes it. It's not wide enough for Athena.
Okay, I will dismount Athena then.
Okay. So, like, at the point of... It's become from narrow to, like, 3 feet wide. Like, you have to shuffle past buildings, and it's not big enough for a crag cat. Would you like to carry on with Athena, or would you like to tell her to wait?
Is looking upwards, is there, like, roofs above?
Like roofs of buildings?
Yeah.
Yeah. There's roofs of shantytowns, like with like tin. It's almost like makeshift tin and metal on the top of these buildings. Some of them are wood, some of them are thatched. It's like a bit of a mixture at the moment.
Okay, I am going to tell Athena, I'm going to say, girl, watch from above. And hopefully, using the climb speed Athena has, she will go up onto the roofs
Okay.
and stealthily follow.
Yeah, not a problem at all. So it doesn't take a long to find some sort of barrel or ledge to kind of like jump on and kind of cat climb almost, kind of pounce and pounce. What's the climb speed?
30 feet.
30 feet, yeah, so no time at all. You kind of asked to do that. And the rest of you behind, I would say that, would it be Salvation behind then Jackal? And then the rest of marching order?
Sure.
Yeah, am I making it through all right as well? Or
Just about. You are literally on your side. So there's probably about less than half a metre in front of you.
okay, kind of scraping through a couple
Yeah.
of walls there. Yep, all good.
Okay, so you see, all you behind see Athena just jump on one ledge and then jump on the other, and she almost disappears into the distance above. A bit like any of the action films you've seen where these kind of roof chases happen and she just goes. But you can hear the kind of like just walk off into the distance where she's jumping along rooftops and kind of scattering across any kind of buildings or balconies that she finds. But you assume with your connection with Athena that she's possibly going to follow.
Cool.
Anyway, so you guys carry on and you get to a point where it is becoming very, very shallow now. And she goes, we're almost there. And Batul kind of points over and she goes, she's just round this corner. And the rest of you kind of like move through and it's becoming very eerie, this place now. And it doesn't take long until Sayer and Jackal, you both get kind of a slight tickle on the shoulder of this.
I thought I wasn't there.
Oh, sorry.
I didn't say it was there.
So Jackal, you get this slight tickle on the shoulder, pushing you kind of like edge, like a almost reassuring nudge of this kind of half orc girl with missing teeth and hair a bit straggly, and she kind of looks at you and goes, "Hey, gorgeous."
Dang, I wish I was.
Does this look like the person we're looking for, or does it not?
This looks
Does it look
like somebody
Eldora?
trying to make some money.
I thought so. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to walk past. I'm going to give her a very intimidating stare and just ever so slightly unsheath my sword.
Yeah, I mean, she sees that and she kind of like goes like this, and she kind of goes, "I'm just trying to make a job, honey." And she just
I'm just going to keep walking. Yeah.
And you guys walk in a bit closer in, probably a minute or so in, and you see these eerie people. It's a bit like the red light district, but a very unclassified, unclassy version, very straggly, and it's not great. And you see people leaving these buildings that they're coming out of, like balding, fat businessmen with cigars and like almost makeshift cigarettes with You see these like lapelled suits with armaments you would assume probably in the army of sorts. Just like give you a kind of look as they walk past and go, "What are you looking at?" And then they kind of like walk past, and yeah, this is getting to weird territory. But nearer about a minute on, you see a small table, and before you there is a stone floor, and you see a table, which is a wooden table with 4 legs, a circular top, and sat behind it with a hood over, with white scraggly hair and a long pointy nose and a bit of a pointed chin. Batul looks over and goes, "Beldora, is that you?" And she looks up and goes, and you see her white pupilled eyes look towards Batul, and she goes, "Ah, child, I thought you left us." Come, come. You've brought friends, I see. Everybody join! Come, come. And she ushers you round. Do you come?
Yeah, keep following.
Okay, so you kind of like make your way around, and as you get closer, you can see sets of cards on the table which represent tarot cards. And you can see almost like this cloth or blanket like round half the table. And she goes, "Have you come for your futures to be told forth?"
I don't see why not.
Well, who wants to go first?
That's
It's
how I
5
do.
silver ago, I have you know.
Jack will lay down 5 silver on the table.
Okay, grabs a 5 silver. You sit down on this kind of nuzzled makeshift wooden chair. It's a bit broken. And she goes, "Do you mind if I grab your palm, child?"
Jack will just, without saying anything, lays out his palm.
And she kind of like very gently nuzzles it underneath like this, and kind of like touches the top and spins like a little circle and closes her eyes, and she goes, "Well, I see your future in here." And she kind of like grabs you a bit more and goes, "You've seen many deaths, am I right?"
Correct.
"And you have more deaths to come, I see. A fierce warrior you are." And she kind of
Well,
like as you're speaking, she's not really listening. She's just talking over you. And she kind of like goes. She mutters a slight incantation, and her eyes kind of widen up, and her eyes go blue. And she goes, "But you've been going by the wrong name. Isn't that right, Buck?"
Oh shit!
"Am I wrong?"
I don't think you're seeing the future quite correctly there, my love.
"Oh, I never lie. Beldora tells the truth."
Damn it, I wish I was there now.
I want to go.
I'll run back.
Well,
Any
Baron.
discomfort from Jackal? Obviously, she did an incantation.
Yeah,
but-
just I mean, what's going on is you see this almost like purplish energy just go around this finger. It's not even touching Jackal. It's like just round her finger. Jackal
Would I see
isn't
what
flinching
sort
at
of
all.
incantation this is?
Make an Arcana check.
Thank you. Arcana. That's a 20.
Brilliant. I will let you know in a minute.
Thank you.
At this point, would I be in the shop?
I would say you're nearly there. You're halfway. This is a large town. These guys have been shuffling, but you've been walking with a busy crowd. So I would say that in the distance you can hear the tinging of the anvils, and you can hear the busyness, but you're not quite there just yet.
Okay.
Rooga booga.
Just was checking I'm gonna hit the loot.
That's fine. I just loading a page up myself. So that's really fresh, dear. Roll 26.
Oh no.
We left it in.
So
fairly
we shall cut this bit off.
Okay.
Just remember, Ollie, I will put it in.
Beldor.
Oh, you stopping the recording, eh?
Because I don't want to not.
As soon as
not
you're
press
done, can you start uploading the clips onto the drive?
Yeah, man, absolutely.
Lovely. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go fairly soon.
Yeah, that's fine.
Cool.
I got some chicken in the oven. Oh, the chicken.
I got the potatoes in the oven.
Ah.
Yeah, need to cut the potatoes, too.
I just gotta
Haters.
eat some kind of food.
Food.
I have a pizza in the freezer, so I might have that actually.
It's been so long since I had a Sunday roast.
We had one yesterday, but
It wasn't a Sunday roast then; it was a Saturday roast.
I was
What's
just about to
Saturday?
say that.
It's called a wrong day roast.
a wrong day roast. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's it.
Being wrong.
It's wrong. It's super tasty, so I can't.
Okay.
That's your dog.
Huh?
Jesus.
Hello.
Are we starting back up?
Yeah.
Oh.
Let me just put back on tunes, things and things.
Hang on. Oh no. The liquid, it is too thick.
Okay, should we start back up again?
Yeah.
Yep.
Right, recording again. Cool. So, just for your reference, Willow, the incantation is called Foresight, and you recognise it.
Yeah.
Anyway, so she continues spiraling this arcane circle around your hand, and she kind of like looks at you with a smile and goes, "Would you like me to go on?"
There's a slight sort of bit of hesitation from Jackal. Go on.
Well, aren't you an interesting sight for sore eyes? Well, I cannot see much, but I can see something. Are you sure you want to know?
Tell me.
You have many losses, Buck, in your past, but I see many gains in your future. Keep on this path and you shall be rich, no nonetheless, but at great sacrifice. So be warned. And that's all she gives you.
I'm gonna place 5 silver.
Okay.
No, I'm gonna place a gold piece.
Okay, so you place a gold on.
Yeah.
Okay, so as soon as this incantation's done, she kind of like flicks her wrist and goes bang, and this kind of arcane energy comes out of her hand, and she like comes out of it and goes, "Well, wasn't that interesting?" And
Jackal would just back away slowly.
I would like to go next.
And she kind of looks down at the gold piece and goes, this is interesting. Lots of money. I like money. Have you guys got your daggers on show? Just a matter of interest.
No, not yet.
No.
Mine's never on show.
Okay, so yours is never on show. Brilliant. So basically, she like looks at the gold and kind of a big smile, and she goes, "You can have as much time as you like with me. Sit down, sit down."
I'll sit down and I'll drop my sky cell.
Dr. Sky's self, okay? She kind of looks and goes, "Using the trickery of the arcane, are we? I
As do
wonder
you.
who you really are, hiding behind those eyes.
I just want to know.
What do you want to know?
I want to know about my brother.
Your brother. Place your palm in front of me, child.
I will.
See. Okay, she grabs your arm.
Yeah.
And
Thank you.
she kind of nuzzles the hand in a little bit, and you see a familiar spiral. And as she spirals around, she goes, I see pain in your past. There's lots of pain. Father and mother abandoned. Issues with siblings and rivalries of house. Am I right?
Saying.
You seem to be a lot trickier than the last. And you seem to be also hiding things. Am I right?
I still don't.
You seem to be going by also a false name, Oakland. Why are you hiding your name?
Wish not to be seen. Can you tell me about Owen?
Owen. This be your brother. And she kind of like stirs a finger around and goes, Owen, I can see your future intertwining with Owen. It has already happened, has it not?
Of course, but I want to know where he is. What happened?
You have already seen him, Oakland. Open your eyes.
When?
You will see him, but you will not like what you see. Keep your eyes open to the far north, and things will become clear.
Small note. Sentry leaves.
Okay. Sentry, make a perception check. As you're leaving and not focusing on this, what's going on?
11.
Yeah, you didn't need more than a 10. Batul is no longer there.
Oh.
Oh.
Sal would have noticed that, I was going to say.
Sally's like engrossed in what's happening, just waiting for her turn. So, would she have? Because she's literally just like.
If you want to look, I mean, at the moment you're not aware of this because of previous rolls. I mean, you can make a perception check if you want to.
I was going to say, if she's trying to sneak away, then it would be off passive, so she got away. Yeah.
Bam.
Can I look in the shop now?
Salvation's just gonna, obviously not realizing this.
Only Sentry realizes that battle's gone. Right now, you guys are more fixed and focused on this event.
Yeah.
Salvation's just waiting for her turn. Like.
Yeah,
I need to go back and see this person after I go to the shop.
You don't know she
we'll
exists.
have to check him out. Go,
Yeah,
come
I
on,
know.
look at this.
I'll obviously ask what they were up to, and I would assume that they would tell me.
We'll get to that.
Okay.
Yeah.
And she grabs the rest of your hand and she goes, "Would you like me to go on, Oakland?"
No, I'm done. Thank you for guidance. No, usher Sal to sit down because I can see she's probably like, "Come on, I want to go."
Salvation's just gonna put a gold on the table, like, "Oh, dummy."
Okay, and she brings you forward. She goes, "I see you want wisdom off Beldora. Is that right?
Yes.
Please
Bel-
place a seat on my chair and place your palm out facing upwards, and we shall begin."
Okay. Just gonna sit down and stick a palm out.
Okay. So you sit down and sit your palm out. She kind of grabs it, and she places her hand over to cast the incantation. And you see the spiral come round again, very familiar, and goes, very, very interesting. Salvation, is it?
Yes.
What would you like to know, Salvation?
Ah.
I mean, you already know a lot.
Tell me something I don't know.
You don't know. Well, that would be telling.
But the other guys got really cool secrets and stuff. I want one.
It kind of goes really silent. Like, really silent. And
your life is boring as shit.
And she kind of like looks around, just out of the spell, and kind of like she looks back at your hand and goes, "All is not what it seems."
Okay.
And she kind of grabs a hand back and goes. She looks a bit nervous, and she kind of like looks around you and goes, "You must follow me immediately.
Oh.
Come." And she
Or all of us.
she literally gestures to all of you who are there,
God damn it.
and she opens up. Sentry, what are you up to?
I'm leaving towards.
So you're just walking the way back.
Yeah.
Okay. So the three of you walk in. So Willow, Salvation, and Jackal. Do you all walk in?
Yeah.
Okay. And as you walk in, you can see like this small kind of chamber hidden with a curtain, and on the side is like a kitchenette with some rags and clothes and a bed and a simple, very simple room. And you see kind of her turn around and go, "There is something we must do." And she kind of whips a cape round. And as she whips this cape round, you see her form begin to change from bottom to top, as almost like a disguised self spell. And you see this form ripple up, and this beautiful long blonde hair, and this jagged jaw, kind of square jaw face, blue eyes, kind of looks back at you and goes, "I can't stand being in that form any longer."
Is it, what race is she?
Human.
Human.
And she goes, she looks around at you, all of you three, and goes, "There is things we must go through. Please. All is not as it seems.
Well, apparently so.
People call me Beldora by name, but you can call me Daedalala."
Well, you.
Right, please tell me how the fuck that's
Yeah,
spelled.
how do you spell it?
Well, what now?
Dhadialla.
Oh,
I got
stand by.
CHA.
D-H-A-D-A.
Dhadialla. Daedalala.
One more time.
Dhadialla.
Oh my god, I spelled it wrong like 3 times.
Right, okay. Okay.
Dadiala.
Dala.
Just call it Dala.
Yeah.
And she kind of looks at you, Salvation, and goes, "There is a reason I cannot tell you your future. And the reason is because we have both been under a ruse.
Say what now?
Your friend, Salvation, where is she?"
Well, I don't know. Wait, good question. Where? Patul? Patul? I don't know where she is. I thought she came here to see you.
She seems to have rused us all, Salvation.
But
Well,
no,
Dora,
no,
are
no,
we in
no,
danger?
no.
And the
But I
reason...
her.
And she looks at you, comes closer to you and looks at you in the face and grabs your hand again and goes, "The reason for this, Salvation, is because I see your future sight. And it is not who you see in front of you.
But that is Patul, right?
It is who I am seeing, who I am looking for.
But she came here to see you. That doesn't make any sense.
She has led you to me for a reason. This is a ruse."
But I cast a truth spell on her, and she swore she was telling the truth. That's never not worked before. I don't understand. How did this happen?
Auckland and Buck, I know you are involved in the Harpers, as am I. Is that right?
You're correct. Have we brought danger upon ourselves?
Not only danger, but everything I've been looking for.
Which is?
Well, I'm sorry to bring you bad burden of bad news, but the person you have been hanging around with, or whoever this is Velin, an archmage of the Arcane Brotherhood.
No! That was gave herself. That was false.
How did none
She
of
is a
us
very powerful mage.
What was her
Enough
name?
for your
Valin?
small spells.
Oh wait, violin.
Breathe. Violin.
Oh, damn it!
But if that wait. If that is not Batul, where is?
I do not know, Salvation. I know not where your friend is. But if she knows this much information, she possibly has her under some sort of interrogation, locked up somewhere, taking information, specific information about this entire moment. All the things you have known over the last few days is false, and from her mouth, not from Velin.
Oh,
Yeah.
guys,
We all got bamboozled.
I thought it Son of True spell clearly a powerful mage. That means that she would have known how to get around the spell, which means that she was lying to me whole time. Guys, I am so sorry.
Don't apologise. It's not your fault.
As she kind of like goes towards this table and kind of looks at you, she kind of like opens a chest, and in this chest is just all sorts of magical equipment, and you'd recognise this Willow as all sorts of like items for incantations. And she goes, "Everybody, you must gather your friends, harpers alike. We need to find out who this is. We have been looking for this person for months. She's an endanger to the whole of Icewind Dale, to everything as we know it. She's one of the most powerful mages around. You have been rused, and we are under danger."
Out of curiosity.
That is where we're going to end tonight's episode.
God damn it!
Oh my god! Ah!
We've
She
been
is like-
compromised.
Okay, let's go, Doc.
Something wrong. Our roads must have not just been high enough. Fuck.
If I was there when they said she was an archmage, I would have just like looked at Salvation like,
Violin! It's not real.
It's not
Goddamn violin.
Oh, goddamn
yeah, we
violin.
insight checked her so many fucking times and she
I
was telling the
know.
truth. How the fuck? How the fuck?
Very powerful archmage, mate. Very powerful.
Like 20 billion.
Like,
You need to roll a 30.
take it this way. Take it this way. She's like, I mean, I'm not going to give anything away, but she's seriously powerful.
Yeah, I'm
Way too
assuming that's why we couldn't see through her, even with like good rolls. She was just that fucking. Just that
Shit. I wonder what spell she used.
Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god.
Must have been some sort of like ultimate
Marty
self-repairment one.
Abracadabra, I'ma fuck with you.
Bruh, I'm a violin.
Oh shit.
Oh my god,
I'm
oh my
so
god.
glad you went last Salvation, because that would have happened at the start.
Oh,
Dang it! And I wanted to find out my future as well.
Ian.
I'll do it next session. It'll be fine.
Ian. Where's the
Anyway, thank you everyone for watching.
Oh my god.
And please continue to follow the page and do nice things, comment nice things, and subscribe as well. We all much appreciate it. We do work hard on these things to give you endless amounts of entertainment, apparently. Yeah, continue watching, and just remember, keep delving.
Keep
delving.
Keep delving.
I feel like I breach a new arsehole every single time I say it.
Yeah.
It's so cheesy. Right.
Yeah.
Bye!
Bye.